Yadu's thing. But yeah, could someone else talk right now, real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Who are we? What do we
Absolutely.
do?
So
Yeah.
Topical Drinks, the show where we drink drinks and we shoot the shit. That's all we do,
Talk
really.
about topics.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There we go. And our guest tonight is actually I guess. Do we want to say he's our first guest? Because Yadu was technically our first guest, but then he became
we adopted him.
We adopted him. Yeah.
He
So
was
can we
adopted.
can we actually say Yadu? Yeah. You know what? I think Jim should take the title.
I could take
Yeah.
the title. I like
We get
I
we
would
can
just
Yadu,
honestly-
Yadu was an interview. We interviewed him.
yes
live.
yes it was,
Yeah,
it was
that was
definitely
a-
an interview.
a
That
long
was for the
interview.
vetting process.
Yeah.
right and he did great. He didn't say anything racially bad, I should say. So it was all good.
Why are we going there? Wait.
We always go there.
I don't
Hold on.
normally. I think we should put it out that I don't normally do that.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Uh,
doesn't normally-
Do you know what's one thing I did not check? I didn't check if
But he
whether or not
does.
you
I'm
can hear.
kidding.
Everybody in the chat can hear. Iceborne is the only person. Iceborne? No, he's gone. Oh no.
Oh no.
He had enough. No.
Brothers had enough. He's like, this
Dude,
crap sucks.
Unprofessional. So I forgot my iPad. 1 second. I'll be back.
No. Okay. Well, while Gabe is gone, I will start off with the usual thing, guys.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? Let's start with our guest. Actually, if you're drinking anything.
Absolutely. So my girlfriend actually got me a smoker yesterday.
Oh.
So I'm using it for the first time. A little pecan wood chips smoked old fashioned.
Did you
And
get
it
the
is
same?
delicious.
Is it the same
Probably-
like set from like Amazon?
Probably, but it's
yeah.
so good. It came with like 8 different wood chips. And honestly, for what I'm drinking, that's perfectly fine. It's
Nice.
delicious.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
And I'm drinking Brothers Bond bourbon.
Brothers
A little-
Bond.
A little shout out to Vampire Diaries. The 2 stars of Vampire Diaries made their own bourbon and called it
Sick.
Brothers Bond.
What?
Yeah,
Vampire. Okay,
I'm
hold
confused
on.
about
You guys
Vampire
got
Diaries.
it's cheap. It's
let-
cheaper stuff, but their ads for it are so good.
They're so
I-
good.
I-
They're
I-
like short films or
Yeah.
short
Okay,
episodes.
so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
Right,
do.
right.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
they're
I'm
awesome.
cultured. Come on
Oh.
now. Come on now. That's what I bring to the
if you wanted
cast.
like a cheap go-to, this is it.
Gotcha. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. The music might have been a little too loud still. I still had the fire. Man, I had bad start for me there. Okay, next. Who else is drinking? What's up with you guys? Who else? JP.
sure.
I
go.
am drinking
Next.
a
JP go.
Maker's Whiskey Sour.
Maker's Whiskey Sour. All
Yeah,
right.
and
So it's,
found
so
out the other day that citric acid actually helps reduce the plaque in your arteries. So I'm like, shit, whiskey sours every night now.
really?
It's a good enough
Who
reason
said-
if I've ever heard one.
Who said that? Who
Mhm.
said that? Like, did
Oh, you
someone
know the
legit-
internet.
did like RFK's like health insurance health service does it? Oh, God. I'm already starting off on a bad foot here with my talking. All right, Gabe, go ahead. What are you drinking?
So it's actually a callback to a few episodes ago when I was doing Dry January, still trying to keep the show alive. And I'm drinking the Angostura, which is a gift from my boy Yadu down there, or up there, depending on the positioning you have on your screen. But anyhow,
Lower left. Your upper right. He's lower left.
oh, I got him on my lower left too. He's the lower left of everyone. All right, great. So 7-year Angostura, and I have made myself a concoction of orange bitters and not passion fruit, grapefruit juice, and it's good. It kind of looks like a Pilsner,
That sounds
surprisingly. It's delicious. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. I got refill of stuff going. You can see the refill now. Tip away. It's going in.
There it is. There it is.
And it's carbonated with the machine soda stream. I'm going to keep shouting you guys out until you guys start throwing the checks. All right.
Oh damn! All right, now some viewers are starting to pack up. All right, we got this. Wait, Yadu, what are you doing? What are you drinking?
Espresso martini again. I was gonna go soju, and then I was like, I'll black out. So
But that's the whole point of our cast. Eventually, you'll
Exactly.
black out. Once it,
I got homework after this.
once we hit
Got to be
11.
somewhat.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, so I actually just had a blood test, so they like took a bunch of vials for me. So I was thinking like, should I be able to drink? But I was like, you know what? I think beer should be enough, right? So, and since I'm still
Yeah,
like,
risk it.
right. So I didn't go
You might
whiskey
just
this
get
time.
drunk faster, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going with this strawberry scrumdiddlyumptious, it's called, from Melvin Brewery. I don't know if anybody's heard of Melvin Brewery.
What kind of a beer is it? Is it like just a
It is.
fruited
Yeah.
beer?
It's a golden ale with strawberry and vanilla
Ah,
flavors.
That
Five
sounds
per-
awesome.
nice.
Five
That sounds
percent.
like something I'd drink.
Yes,
Like,
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
you would have loved this one. Actually,
Yeah.
last party we had, this is one of the beers that I got. Like, what was that restaurant? Lazy Dog. Lazy Dog would have
Yeah.
like their quarterly thing. I think I got that from them. It had something to do with like a what do you call it? Like what the fuck is that? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory type theme with
Oh,
like
Willy
candy.
Wonka.
Willy Wonka, thank you. Like
Mm.
candies and all that shit. So that's where it came in. So guys, cheers.
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 Cheers it up.
Mm. All right. As mentioned before, we have a special guest today, Jim. He
Oh.
works in the video game industry. Jim, the video game man. Should we call you that? Should we say that? Are we gonna stick with
That's
that?
one, yeah, that's one word. We can
Cool.
go with-
That's perfect. All right. He currently works at ArenaNet, which we could talk. You could talk more about. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? Go ahead and talk.
Hey,
You do it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
need to
so-
explain it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I-
does ArenaNet make?
ArenaNet
Games.
makes Guild Wars, the 20-year-old MMO RPG. Yeah, so Guild Wars was like kind of a competitor to World of Warcraft at the time, but they, instead of going the route of like these massive worlds that you would team up with a bunch of people, they kind of went the route of you would make a party of 4 and get a separate instance of a zone. And so it was kind of like, and the level cap was only 20. So it tried to bridge the gap of like an action game where you would pair up with friends and get your own world, but also have some of the elements of what makes MMOs fun about playing with everybody. But yeah, ArenaNet's still going strong 20 years later.
Nice.
Guild Wars 2
Wow.
is still popular as hell. Actually, they just, like, we just released, since I've been there for 2 years now, they've already come out with 2 expansion packs. So it's still
Oh,
going.
wow.
That's crazy.
When did Guild Wars 2 come out?
Oh man. My handy, let's look this up. When was it?
2012. I just looked it up. Okay.
There we go.
2012.
Yeah.
Going
And-
into 2012. Yeah.
And they have tried a lot of different, like, and the thing that makes them special is that at the time, like, you would always need these subscription services, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to pay subscriptions, blah blah blah. Their model was always you pay for the game once and you just get it. And that is the deal with Guild Wars 1 and 2. And what's awesome is like you can still go play Guild Wars 1 today. Like the servers are still up. They're still
Yeah.
supported.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Nice.
That's
Right.
important.
I mean, that
Yeah.
actually we wanted to talk a little bit about MMOs itself
Yeah.
because I used to play a shit ton of WoW. Obviously Guild Wars 2. I recall Guild Wars 2 at the time was like, oh yeah, like everybody get out of WoW, let's go to Guild Wars 2 and everything like that.
Yeah.
I just stopped playing MMOs in general because it ruined my social life in college. Completely ruined it.
Yeah.
But I digress. We can talk more about that later, but continue though.
Yeah.
You also used to work at NetherRealm. When I first met you,
Yeah.
you were working at NetherRealm Studios. And for
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't know, NetherRealm is the guys that make
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Love that game.
Yeah, I was there for
You don't want the
7 years.
smoke.
Yeah.
You're
Did
there
you
for
do-
10
7
years?
years.
I was playing
Seven,
Mortal
okay.
Kombat 11 before we started this. Just to
Oh,
get
yeah.
back into it.
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat 11.
Jay-
Just
What you got against
announced
Mortal Kombat 1,
the
JP?
Barbarian.
What you got against Mortal Kombat 1? I'm
Um,
just kidding.
I just
starting
don't
to
have it
drama here.
downloaded. Nothing.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
it's
when I
starting
was
some
a kid, I was probably like 12 when it came out. and I would drive to a local hot dog place with a pocket full of quarters and like $2 to buy a Coke or something like that because you had to buy something, and then just play Mortal Kombat for like hours.
Damn.
Just to give you a little context, Jim. Like I think our age range goes from Gen X, which is JP over there. Then it would be me.
Early millennial, you.
Late early millennial or late millennial? Early millennial, yeah.
Yeah.
Early millennial, late millennial would be
Last
Gabe.
millennial.
And then our resident Gen Z correspondent, Yadu, which by the way, I forgot to ask. Yadu, how is Gen Z?
How
Still
you-
bad.
Shit sucks still.
Still bad.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Yadu.
My parents sent me
You can
20
go.
texts today. All of them are about internships.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
One of them was just my dad just Googled Viscom internships and just sent me a link to the search results.
Hey,
Are they at least paid?
I don't know why it's so
Uh,
funny, but just search.
My mom's been sending me unpaid ones. My dad's been sending me paid ones because my mom's like,
Yeah.
just get anything you can, and my dad's like, get money. You need money.
Yeah.
I'm with your
college
dad.
credit.
I'm with your dad there. Yeah, get paid.
Yeah.
I'm with them too. I don't want to do shit for free.
Unpaid internships
They
should
used
not
to call
exist.
that
It's
something.
just-
They used to call that something.
Yeah.
Free
Yeah,
labor.
exactly.
Yeah.
Abraham's Lincoln birthday today. Abe's Lincoln's birthday today, 1809, I think.
Oh.
Is it
2012.
really?
Is it?
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. Google that shit.
Is that
fact
why we
check
have
me.
Monday off?
We have
It's a
Monday off
holiday
because
Monday, I don't even know
there's
what
a
it is.
conglomerate of birthdays like George Washington, Abe Lincoln.
That's all the presidents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. He is
Next
correct.
Monday is a holiday.
including my birthday.
Was
on
that
the
right?
19th.
Abe Lincoln,
Oh,
212,
nice. Happy
1809.
birthday, Jim.
Yeah, February 12th, Abe Lincoln's birthday. You got it right.
What about
And,
the year?
happy birthday, Jim. Oh my God, hold on. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Jim, because he mentioned that it's his birthday. What, Monday?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Where do you fall in the
Jimmy!
generation gap here?
Definitely millennial. 90.
Really? 90?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
millennial. He'd be
Nice.
I think just not
Well,
early
actually-
or late, just like
Mid.
Right in the middle,
He's in the
right?
middle. He's right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
hold on. So he actually
90 is when I was 11 and bought my first like Pearl Jam album, probably.
well, when you were 11, I guess I was I had to be 6, I think. If you're
All right.
11, no, 7. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, regardless. So Mortal Kombat. Was that the first company that you actually that got you into
No.
the game industry?
No, that like getting into the game industry is like one of my favorite stories. So
Yeah.
I'll tell it. So
Tell it.
Go for it.
yeah, so I have a normal computer science background. Like
Right.
I've been in Chicago my whole life, so I went to a very like no-name college called Lewis University,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
I
in
know it.
Romeoville,
I've heard of
Illinois.
it, yeah.
Next to
If
a
you-
prison.
Yeah, so Romeoville is a place. So
Next
that's
to a
the thing.
prison.
Um,
It is next to a
and
prison, I
it's,
think. Joliet.
it was a good school though. Like I don't have any quarrels against it. Very small, but a good school.
Shout out to Louis.
And I did a normal computer science background. I knew I wanted to be in games, and if that didn't work out, I would have like been happy as just a regular programmer. And at that time, they were offering this like they would curate all your electives to like game development, and this was back in the like the time when like Full Sail was just getting started. Go make
Oh.
video games as your career, right? Like
Right.
like
I
this was
remember
all
that.
new. Colleges were trying to like figure out how to get programs to like curate you to game development, and no one knew what they were doing. But so Lewis University tried, and I took like this graphics course, this graphics programming course, and man, was I just like completely overwhelmed. I don't consider myself like a super smart dude. Like I knew enough to get by, but man, graphics just like completely kicked my ass. But I must have impressed the teacher because I also had her for just programming 101. And I went through my 4 years, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get into games at this point. But having her as a teacher, I knew she owned a very small video game company making DS games. Like I think it was just a
Sick.
handful of people. Like it was not a no name. It
DS,
was not
like
a name.
Nintendo DS?
Yeah.
Sick.
Oh yeah. And
Cool.
and before that, Game Boy Advanced and
Do you know what these are, Yadu? Do you know what a DS is?
Yeah, dude. Resident Gen Z.
Yeah,
Do you
let's
know what a
double check
DS
to
is?
make sure we're all
I
talking
was
on the same
alive
thing.
for the DS. Yeah, I was the one kid who didn't have one.
What about Game Boy Advance? You know what a Game Boy Advance
Hell
is?
no, he doesn't.
I know of it.
Oh.
I'm
Game
not
Boy.
on a first name basis with it.
We are pinpointing this. Oh my god. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
So
Gohan. Yeah, sorry.
Go on,
yeah,
Joe.
yeah, no. I mean that's important too because this company, their name was Webfoot Technologies. Again,
Oh,
no
okay.
no name. They made a Dragon Ball Z game for the Game Boy Advance. That's their claim to fame. And you look surprised right now, so you might have played this.
I probably
Um,
did on Game Boy.
Yeah.
Which one? Game Boy Advance. Which game?
I mean this was all before I even joined them, but
They made a few.
um,
I played them all.
oh yeah, that's right. And they also were the first company to put full motion video onto a Game Boy Advance, which is kind of cool.
That is sick.
For such
Okay,
a small
Like
thing.
cutscenes,
I'm-
or like what was
They're
it?
just if I'm like
Implementation.
I think they were animated, like animated,
Oh, okay.
and I think they just put them in like randomly throughout levels. I don't know, but so it was at the end of my I was going into my senior year, and I was a little bit like, hey, I really want to get into games, and so I'm just like, you know what, on a whim, I'm just gonna shoot her an email and be like, you own a studio, and I'm looking for advice. I didn't say like, hey, let me work for you. I wrote 3 paragraphs, and it was like, you've had me in these 2 classes. This is like my passion. This is what I want to do. I'd love some advice. Like, what can I do in the next, like all this stuff. It was very formal, and I shot it over to her. And I remember this because I was in my parents' basement on my computer downstairs. Shot it over. About an hour later, I got a response. 1 line, 1 sentence. She said, "Hi Jim. Oh yeah, that's easy. Just come work for me." End. And I remember I like jumped up and I was like, I looked at my brother and I'm like, I think I just broke into the game industry. And we went and took a shot of whiskey.
Nice.
Because I wrote her back. I'm like, hey, that sounds great. Like, yeah. And she meant it as like an internship. Like, come work with me in your senior year after school, because her office was so close to the school.
Unpaid, of course, right?
Paid.
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 There you go.
Put some
There you go. I made
respect
$10
on
an
Jim's
hour.
name, dudes. Put some
I
respect.
made
We don't
$10
do that.
an hour.
$10
Back
an
in
hour.
those
Yeah.
days.
That's
I
crazy.
remember that.
Oh
That was the
man.
time when like other interns, like other computer science friends of mine were making at least like 15 or 14.
Uh,
And I was like,
Oh.
well, I'm at least making games.
What year was this?
Oh, 7?
Okay,
Damn.
I guess
That's
I
seven.
guess it
Nice.
tracks
That's
a little
good
bit. Yeah.
year.
Wait.
That's a 360 time. That's the era of 360 PS3 first coming out to the market.
I do recall.
No. It was like
No.
10 or 11.
Okay,
I
so
missed
mid,
the
so
whole-
mid generation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
We graduated 12.
So through that, then
I was
you
I
work
was-
with
I was
her.
4 years. Yeah. So this was like I worked with her, and it was really like kind of like the coolest thing we did over there was I made a Legend of Korra 3DS game.
Legend
was
of
the coolest
Oh, I
Korra.
know which
Wow.
one. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Okay, Gen Z knows. Gen Z knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The,
that-
the last Airbender, we all know that.
And that project, that's a whole
That's
other
a-
story.
that's a
'cause, like,
different
we had to
show.
work.
That's a different show.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah,
different. It's the
that's
follow
like
up.
the sequel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But,
Korra was a sequel.
but I just want to make sure it clear that Legend Korra is not the last Airbender. I just want make sure Jorge knows the culture and he doesn't
Oh,
slander us. And there's
Yeah,
not
let's
memes
let's
of
some
us
down
not
over it.
knowing
Like,
the culture.
not-
We know
she's-
the culture. Okay.
All right, Jim, please continue.
I'm sorry. I'm just correcting us.
Oh, yeah,
Fact checking.
But yeah, so I worked there for my senior year, and she was like, you know what, you did great. Just come on like full time. And what she was so great, like looking back too, because she taught at the school part time, but she owned this small little studio, and again, this wasn't even like a full studio. There was like 4 of us total, and she would just hire artists as needed. But the reason I liked her so much is because like towards the end of my senior year, she was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna hire you. You can like your like end finals don't really matter. So like, you know, we don't care." It
Nice.
was the coolest thing ever, and it took so much pressure off that year in general. Um, but yeah, so that was like that was
Wow.
like luck
The
and
beginning.
opportunity. Sorry,
That was the beginning of it all. That's
that
what
was it.
made you the
Yeah,
game developer guy.
yeah,
That's awesome.
and yeah, and it's been like a slow climb because like again, that studio was just so freaking small, and I worked there for like 2 to 3 years
Hmm.
before I
So
moved up to another small studio. Hey, God,
did you end up in the graphics design part of the game, or
no, no,
okay,
I was like a gameplay programmer. Um,
gotcha.
so
Sick.
no, that class was like really low level, like literally drawing lines on the screen, like looking at
Hmm.
vertexes and drawing lines to make like a polygon
Yeah,
on
that,
screen. It
that
was so
sounds
low
no fun
level.
to me because like Jorge and I are both developers, and like,
Okay.
yeah,
I,
I hate front end shit, so I would just stay away from
That's my
anything that
whole
is.
area.
do you know what's funny? I do want to talk about because I feel like Jim's story from what he's saying right now is literally the polar opposite of what happened to me in college because
Mm.
I
Yeah, I
wanted
want to hear it.
I wanted to get into the game industry actually as a college, but there were so many people that were in the game industry that basically convinced me not to
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Right.
Just at that
With
time.
right. And I actually we could either talk about it now or we could put a pin on that because I want to continue like let's get to the
So,
point when you
I,
got to Nether Realms
well,
essentially.
I
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah, no, it's
ask
a
him
very good
though. I
point.
wanted to ask him some conceptual questions though before you got to the
Yeah.
NetherRealms thing. Like what was
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
what was the game like even before game getting into the breaking into gaming, or thereafter after you had some experience? What was a game that made you change the way you thought about game design? What was something that completely inspired you? You were like, wow, I need to
And
get
I'll be
my
right
shit
back. I'm gonna
together.
get my second drink while you're talking.
Yeah.
Guess I have a boring
Yeah.
question.
So
Jorge's leaving. I'm just kidding.
um, uh, I would so a lot of this kind of goes back to so I have an identical twin brother, as a lot of you, some of you know. I know Jorge knows. I have identical twin brother Joe, and we were
Joe and
obsessed
Jim.
with games. What's it?
Joe and Jim. That sounds funny.
Yeah, Jim and Joe, Joe and Jim, James and Joseph. Um, but we were obsessed with games. Like this was our like in grade school. We had a group of friends and they were all nerds as well. But like we would come home, play N64, and like that was,
mm.
that was our thing. And we'd lock ourselves in our room and play games that were like either we could play together or we'd switch off.
Best N64
And
game. What is
oh
it?
yeah,
What's your favorite one?
Quest 64
Best
maybe.
no Quest 64 is your best N64 game?
You know what? It's
Oh,
probably one of the
oh,
worst,
I,
oh shit.
exactly.
but it was one of my favorites.
Leisure Suit Larry, I remember that game.
Dude, hold
In
on,
the comments.
hold on. Put a pin on that one. Quest 64, I definitely would like to talk to.
All
That's
right.
very surprising that you mentioned that game.
All
I'll
right,
be
keep
back.
going,
I'm
Jim.
gonna
Keep
get
going,
myself
Jim.
a
We'll
drink.
talk
Yep.
about our best 64
Go
games
ahead.
in a second. We'll put a note
Yeah.
on that.
But so we just love games, and it was always that thing in the back of our mind, we are always like, yeah, we got to find a way to make these, right? Like we gotta this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I remember even thinking like, especially around that 8th grade when like you're finally starting to mature a little bit, there was part of me of like, oh, I don't want to make games. I just want to play them, right? Like making them's a whole nother aspect. Like that's a whole different. I remember that kind of that weird like time in my life where one of my teachers was like, "Oh, you guys should make your own game." And I looked at her, I'm like, "I don't want to make games." But I was in 8th grade, so I was dumb.
You
But
didn't know what you wanted to do.
yeah, um, but looking back, some games that really like influenced me to like where games kind of went from just actively playing something to more being immersed in a world. There's two I can think of. One was Majora's Mask. which was like
Ooh, of
it
course.
felt like when Joe and I came home and turned that game on, it felt like there was that world was living its own life. It had a time, everyone had a schedule. You people went to bed. And if you knew like what times to like move around the world and find different people, that game was coming alive. And that, I think, being so young and like getting immersed in that world made games be this like something that we really enjoyed to something that was like totally immersive.
Hmm.
And
Quick pause.
that-
Quick pause. Yadu,
Yeah.
do you know what Majora's Mask is?
Yeah.
Gen Z question.
I do not know that one.
God,
I do know what-
no! We
Do you know
failed
what?
you.
Do you know what an N64 is?
I do. Super
Okay.
Nintendo, right?
yeah, that's
Can you draw the
It's a
controller?
Nintendo.
Can you draw the controller?
Can I draw the controller?
from memory.
And he is like the Gen Z punching bag, basically. Right?
We're just
Well,
testing.
not only
like,
am I the Gen Z punching bag, I also didn't grow up playing video games.
true.
Oh,
That's
yes,
not
right.
fair.
True,
That's
so,
not fair.
I
Yeah.
didn't start until I was like 16 years old.
We did
I
have a
didn't have a Wii or
conversation.
anything.
We did have a conversation like last week, wondering if Gen Z actually is technologically proficient as millennials, and we came to the conclusion that's not the case. I think millennials are probably more technologically proficient than Gen Zers because we had to be tech support
Oh,
for our
yeah.
boomer parents and stuff like that, and so on.
I mean, I've had to
yeah.
do that too. It just depends on what type of tech.
So
Yeah,
so
changing
I,
the printer doesn't count, Yadu.
all right, but hold on.
Yeah.
I do want to go back to Quest because actually we do
Yeah.
have one person in the chat that did just mention that he was very surprised that Quest 64 was mentioned, right? I remember, and Quest 64 came out in my 6th grade, I guess. So I had to be like, what, 12 or 13 or something when that came out. And I recall that that game was at least marketed as the game that you should play when you have to wait for Zelda. And we're talking like the first Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And I remember, okay, so here's the thing. It's like one of those things like it was amazing when I played it as a kid, right? And I don't recall beating it. And the reason I didn't
Oh,
beat
really?
it was because I was renting it. So back when Blockbuster
Oh.
was still a thing, right? Which
Yeah.
there is also another game that I played that I never beat, but I was so close to beating. And my older sister took the game away and be like, "Oh no, we got to return it. We got to return it." And I'm like, "I'm almost done. I'm almost done." And like I never forget my older sister with that. All right, and it was called Hybrid Heaven. You guys ever heard of that game?
No.
Hybrid
No.
Heaven. No. So
Oh,
look
no.
it up. It was from Konami, and it was
Konami?
originally yeah. So the original project was that Kojima wanted a new I guess like Metal Gear Solid game, and the game essentially evolved to its own thing. And it is a RPG. It's a turn-based RPG, but your character is essentially just doing like no magic. It's just all like legit fighting moves.
These
Like,
pictures look
you-
wild.
Yeah,
Like you do a
that's-
turn-based thing of like suplexing and
I
shit
don't
like
even
that.
know this.
Suplex?
And, like-
a turn-based suplex?
Yeah, basically. And like and
WWE turn-based RPG.
That's crazy.
that's the other thing. You could also focus on limbs too. So like if you like hit
I
an
literally
enemy's
pulled
like
a
right
screenshot, yeah.
arm, then you basically like his next attack with the right arm won't do as much damage. Or if you hit him in the head enough and you knock him down, then you could just wail on him and he won't get up because he's passed out. You know, but it also happens to you because enemies would also focus on specific parts of your limbs and stuff like that, right? And that game had one of the best like boss battle music, which I do want to talk about like game music too with you. But let's put a pin on that, right?
Put a pin in
But
the
anyway,
music, yeah.
Right. But Quest 64 and Hybrid Heaven were the two games that I never beat when I was a kid. But then when I went back as an adult, unfortunately with Quest 64, there is, how would I say it, like that move that you can basically spam and just win the whole fucking game. I think it was like the rock asteroid type thing, right? And so definitely did not age well as an adult, unfortunately.
Neither did
Nice.
Quest.
Jim, you were going to name a second game. What was the second
Yeah.
game that changed your life? That was like, wow.
Shenmue.
What?
Shenmue.
Shenmue for the Dreamcast.
Dreamcast?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So,
the one console I
he-
didn't have much experience with.
Yeah, this was a
Oh.
rare console to have, and me and my brother, we wouldn't
I
have
got
had
two
it
of them.
either.
Damn. He's a
Dude,
scalper,
Dreamcast
guys.
had
No, I'm
light
just
guns. Like, how wild is that? They had
That it,
light guns for
I have
like
the light gun too for the
Didn't they
Dreamcast,
have a
by the way.
controller with a
Yeah.
screen on it, or am I imagining that? Didn't Dreamcast have a controller with a
Yeah,
screen?
it was a little pack that you put in the middle.
That's
yeah.
so
It was-
insane.
It was
Before
called the
my
VM.
time.
It was called the VMU, and there were some games that kind of treated it as like a Tamagotchi.
Mhm.
I don't know. You guys know Tamagotchi? Gen Z
Yeah.
expert. Y'all, dude. You know what
I
a
know
Tamagotchi is?
Tamagotchi.
Okay, you know
Yeah,
what a
it was like a
Tamagotchi is.
virtual pet. Yeah.
Yes. All
I
right,
don't
he
know
knows
what
it
that
at
Oops,
is.
you
least.
had to
Okay.
feed it and stuff. A lot of people's
Right.
Oh,
Tamagotchis
jeez.
died.
Oh, they all died. They always die.
Oh, I did have one of
They
these.
just always
I did
die.
have one of these. Yeah.
Always die, man. Jesus. Okay, so Quest 64. Okay, you know what? Let's backtrack a little bit because before we start talking about like games and some people's questions here and there, I do want to talk about why your path is a little different than mine. I'm also computer science engineering. I graduated in 2009 was my graduation. Um, my path was a little different though. So I actually was vice president of the game creations, what do we call it? The Game Creations Club in Ohio State, which to this day still exists. That's one of our proudest moments that we actually passed it along, and the people kept bringing it up, and it still exists. Yeah, you can look
Yeah.
it up. You just look
Good.
it up online. And we had like some like people from like recruiters from EA come in, Zynga, if you guys remember Zynga, which was the
Yep.
Facebook games and all that stuff. So we had a lot of recruiters coming in, and but we had this one guy who was a programmer living in Columbus, and I think his one of one of the games that he made was I think the Playboy game. You guys remember the Playboy game back in PlayStation 2, I think. Era?
No,
No,
don't remember
no.
that game.
So we had him on like as a presenter just about the game industry, and this guy was possibly one of the most jaded individuals we've ever had. You know, because like the EA guy when he was doing it, he was essentially promoting EA. He wasn't really talking about the game industry and like how you can get it. He was promoting EA. You know, then here's a video and here's all the Madden and FIFA and shit like that. You know, and then he's like, all right, everybody, bring out your resumes and stuff like that, right? But this guy, on the other hand, I recall he was basically like talking as if like you're never gonna make it to the game industry, or if when you make it, you're just gonna be a code monkey and you're gonna hate it for the rest of your life, right? And then we had like these kids in the front, like a big group of kids, and they were talking about like they asked him a question that's like, and I remember the question clearly was that they were asking, if we are making a game company, how much do we split up in terms of money for everybody that works there? And then the guy's just like, if you make money, like just like that.
Holy shit.
And like me and the president of the company were just next to each other. We were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
like just destroy people's dreams. Why don't you, man? What the fuck, man?
Gotta be real sometimes, you know.
But here's the thing. Those like the EA guy, the EA recruiter, like I actually tried for EA and I didn't get in. And then that guy and then a couple of other people like basically put like a very negative light in the game industry for me at least. So that's why I ended up just, you know, well, at the same time 2009 was also 2008 was a crash, and then 2009 was where the tech sector actually felt the crash for 2008. So no jobs were available. So that's kind of where I ended up becoming outside of game development and just, you know, SharePoint development, C#, you know, other things. Now streaming and all that stuff, real-time streaming, yada, right?
So-
But that was kind of like my entry is that I was trying, and then everybody around was just like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Your life is horrible, right? That sort of thing.
That is 100% what I remember. So in my first few years, this was really, you know, early in early search engines where I'd go on and I would type in game industry, like computer science, right? Like just trying to get hints of anything. Do you remember it's called like EA wife? You remember hearing about this? The letter, EA letter that the wife wrote, and this is like one of the first big like publicity. I don't know if it was a stunt or what, but
that sounds very familiar, but I kind of forget. All right, go ahead.
Time. And it's what doesn't surprise me that you got someone from EA who had such a hard time. But so I guess she wrote this letter to the like either his boss, her husband had worked at EA. She wrote this like letter just insulting the company, being like, "My husband's never home. He's miserable. His life is ruined. He's depressed. Blah blah blah." You're like, he can only think about work, and this was, I think, one of the first like publicity, like mass publicity that the game industry is just awful. It was right around that time. And so every time I would go and look for information, this would pop up. And people on forums would say the exact same thing. It was always, don't go into games. Even if you think you want to go into games, you have to be really smart. And then if you're really smart, you might as well go make money somewhere else. It was always negative.
That
Always
sounds
negative.
exactly like the dude I was talking about. I'm not naming names too. Actually, you know what's funny? I actually still have his business card to this day. I actually
You keep
I
business
was like
cards.
still in games.
yeah, no. Last literally like a couple of days ago, I was just cleaning my desk and then I had all this business card and there he was. I was like, oh fuck,
That's cool,
that
man.
was the dude.
I respect you.
I know.
Man. That's respect.
Yeah, but right. There was also one thing I did want to mention. I mentioned it a little bit, maybe last week or stuff like that. There, one thing as someone that loves video games and that wanted to be in the game industry, and now like with my position in just software engineering in general would probably be much harder. Like it would be me having to like retread or redo everything, so I probably wouldn't be able to do it. But the one thing that kind of made me regret not going to the game industry, and we'll get a little deep on this conversation. I'll get deep now before
Yeah.
we get into the silly stuff,
Get
right?
deep. Go deep, man.
Yeah,
Dive
yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
So I had,
Spill it.
Pause.
yeah,
No,
I had I had a friend who I used to work with in the the tech support thing in Ohio State, which a lot of students would be, doing this stuff, like, college job and stuff like that. And the guy actually gave me like he said, "Hey man, do you want to make a video game when we like graduate?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be cool," and all that stuff. And he gave me like ideas because we were big fans of like me and him were big fans of like TIE Fighter. I don't know if you ever played that game, TIE Fighter, or actually for TIE
Oh,
Fighter and all
yeah.
that stuff, right? So kind of like the space flight sim type thing, or combat sim. And he gave me ideas like, what if there was like an actual spiritual successor to that? Because there really wasn't back in the days, like back in 2009 when we were graduating. And he gave me an idea of like one of the alien races and stuff like that, like, what it was. And it was like a very interesting idea. I don't want to say it so much here right now, like very descriptive in what he said about it, right?
Gatekeep that. Gatekeep that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Yadu and Gabe, I think, told me yesterday I should probably gatekeep that shit, right? And yeah, so like I was like, yeah, that's cool because like to me there were like two types of games I would have loved to make. Like one of those like bucket list type of things. One of them was that like much better spiritual successor, and then now with like that alien race and all that stuff. So when he came to me and told me that he was working with me there. He's usually the guy that comes in like like the hour before I leave, so he replaces me and stuff like that. And then he told me that he also brought in euros for me and all that stuff was great. The following Wednesday, I find out that he committed suicide.
Jesus, talk about. I thought this
And
was going
yeah,
somewhere else.
so he died of suicide, I guess is actually the correct way of saying it.
Unalived himself. We don't want to demonetize. Yeah, he unalived himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, unmonetized. We haven't monetized. We ain't getting the Raytheon money yet. All right.
My
So anyway.
Facebook brings in the dollars, but keep going.
To who? Okay, put a pin on that. Where's that money coming from? All right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I saw you had like 4,000 followers, Gabe. What the hell are you doing?
yeah, where are
5,000.
they here?
Yeah,
Where are they
yeah.
here? Where are they here in topical drinks? Anyway, regardless, so that is one of those things that I always kind of feel like, man, like maybe I should have like pursued that and actually do the things that he's talked about doing before he before his passing. But it also kind of discouraged me because I'm not an artistic guy, you know. I'm a developer. Like I just can't do artistic stuff. I did a bunch of games in college, and most of it was just me like doing like JPEGs and stuff and just moving around and shit like that. I'm not an artist guy. Now, granted, now like going through a quarter life crisis, I guess I'll say. Like I am trying to do my more like artistic side. I've been doing photography, and as you guys can see, I'm gonna try to be a DJ now for extra money. And maybe a special guest. No, special guest, special musical guest here. We got to bring a special musical guest, guys. We got to talk about that
I
later.
have some
by the way.
Chicago Symphony Orchestra friends. We'll invite them.
Dude, that would be fucking amazing. Okay,
We'll
we need
invite-
more
put a
viewers
pin
in that
in
shit.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But really, that is my experience with the game industry. Like that was the block, and those would be the two games that'd be like, man, if I had like just a dedicated group of people that were just like, yeah, let's fucking make it. And I no, actually, more importantly, if I had the liquidity to just basically like, here's your fucking money, make this fucking game,
Yeah.
then we'll go that route,
You
right?
know, a couple thoughts come to mind just hearing this stuff, right? So, to talk like to address some of it quickly, like this was like right after you got out of college, right? So this was in you said 09. The tools for making games back then, no one knew what they were. Like you couldn't download Unreal Engine, right?
No.
Like you might be able to get the UDK.
Yeah,
for
he's
Unreal
right. He's
3.
right. Yeah.
But it was so obscure, and you had to know C++ really well.
Yeah.
To be able to get anything, even just to install it.
Yeah,
Um,
when I was there in 2009, the two biggest things was just like pure OpenGL.
Yeah.
And then there was there was a game engine called Ogre 3D was called. I don't, yeah, I guess yeah, you know
Yeah.
that one. And then the big one that I did. So I did one game for Ogre 3D, which was like a Smash Brothers game with like a bunch of other people. That was one of the classes, and then the other one was XNA. XNA, which was the
Yeah.
Xbox Live Arcade.
We
version.
also use that.
Yeah, and you had to know C#, and it was a direct connection to
remember
DirectX, which I believe DirectX was I don't know what number it was at that time. DirectX 9, 8, 9, 8 by that time.
Probably
I
8
forget.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then OpenGL was like OpenGL 3 or 3.
What
Yeah,
year
I
you said
think,
this
yeah.
was?
2009.
9.
Well, it would be anytime before 2009, I would say. Someone just mentioned Coco's 2D.
That's probably Joe.
Yeah, that was
so
Joe.
me and my brother used Coco's 2D to like
You know, I directed
make
9. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
like a small pixel game. But yeah, the tools back then were just wildly different. And so what I was getting at is like there were tools. You had like you said, there's a lot of actually I thought XNA was a great like platform to get into game development. But it was still hard to take like an idea and make it a complete package. To where the game had a solid loop and you were able to like get an actual artist in there and like properly set things up. And now obviously those tools so back then really difficult, like relatively higher bar to entry. Nowadays, like if you were just like, hey, I'm going to start like doing my own project, you don't even have to touch code if you don't want to with Unreal 5.
Right, right.
Like they have a blueprinting system, which is like a high level scripting language. That's all visual.
That's cool.
Yeah, you don't even need to know coding. You can have artists go in there and make like prototypes.
Jim.
I mean, it's all
and get a lot
it's
of work.
drag and drop now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim.
And it's
Exactly.
like obviously shipping a game like that is going to be tougher, right? It requires a lot more people to orchestrate all that. But yeah, nowadays, like if you were like exactly what you were saying, where like you had some ideas about a type of game you wanted to try,
Right.
and even before you start worrying about like the longevity of a project, you can just get UE5 and get stuff up and going really fast and just prototype those ideas really quick. And only once the ideas are there and you're proving out your loop, then you can be like, okay, here's my prototype. You can pitch it to artists and be like, this is the game I want to make, and here's the assets I need. It's different now. And
Right.
UE5 is crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy. I've seen.
I think the only game right now that has like successfully did UE5 is Tekken 8. I think right now
What?
as we speak.
Nah, there's been more games than that. Jim, lay some games down.
No, 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 no. There,
Lay
there
some
actually
games
is a lot.
down.
No, there's a lot of games that actually still stick with UE4. I think like even the
Oh,
new
yeah.
Final Fantasy stuck with
So
UE4 because
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, because so what and I mean I can get into this even more, but a lot of studios will take Unreal and then mod it. And
Oh,
the other ROM was
you can do that.
actually
Like just straight up.
oh
mod
yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, because you download the source for the engine itself, and then you can mod the engine, and you can
Okay.
extend it.
Yeah. And as a programmer, by the way, like that's not just in the game industry, that's in everywhere. Like
Yeah.
we have a lot of third parties that we would always have like an additional like library stuff that does something that's unique to what we're doing. Like for where I work, we do the same thing too, as well. So yeah, it's very common in the
But, like-
software engineering industry.
You said Tekken 8, but like the most popular game right now, Jim, what would you say the most popular game today? What is it?
Tekken 8.
Period.
Yeah, period. Right now, today.
Fortnite.
Exactly. And guess
Ooh,
what? They
yeah,
transitioned to
yeah.
UE5. They did transition to UE5.
Yeah, but like Fortnite's
Everything they do.
it's made by Epic Games, who actually made the engine. So of course they
Yeah.
transitioned to that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Actually, all of their new systems is usually a system they made for Fortnite.
Oh yeah, really?
Specific, yeah.
Interesting.
Including like I'm working right now with so on this new project that I won't name.
By the way,
Project
Joe
what?
says Joe says Roblox. By the way, not
Roblox, yeah, maybe.
I think Roblox is, but
Roblox
let's go
over the
back.
holiday break with some family members like that were like little kids.
Dude,
And,
even
Roblox
trading
is
companies like take Roblox
pretty
because they
boss.
got currency. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty boss.
Anyway,
But yeah,
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you love Roblox. No, but it was pretty funny to watch kids play it. I was like, this is whack. Anyway, all I was getting at is that literally everything that a lot of major systems that make it into Unreal 5 because Fortnite needed to solve something. And we have some people on our team that came straight from Epic working on the engine. And so now I'm working with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I wrote this whole system, and it was to get Fortnite to do this and that, and now it's just in the engine for everyone to use." So Unreal 5 literally depends on Fortnite. Adding features.
Wow.
So
The need of Fortnite, it causes the need to or the want to invest into it, right? To change it.
Okay, but hold on. Is that necessarily a good thing? Which I actually did want to talk about the state of the industry
Pay
too,
to
while we're
win.
at it.
Well,
No. We're not talking about. Well, we could talk about the pay to win thing, but the fact is that
game politics
If you
right now. Yeah.
well, no, if you have an engine that's specifically made for a single game, like that limits the engine, though, does it not?
So I guess like not to if Fortnite needs to add a feature, they do it in a way that the feature can be sometimes generalized so that anyone can use it for any purpose. I would say that like a lot of great stuff is like I think Unreal 5 is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think that we ever run into a lot of situations where it's like, oh hey, it wasn't made for this kind of game, so they never thought of this. There are so many games that every year the amount of games that rely on Unreal just keeps growing, and the amount of AAA studios that use it is just growing and growing and growing. And I think the biggest like a good example, a lot of Sony first party studios are still refusing to switch to Unreal. Almost everyone else has.
Really?
A lot of Xbox first party studios has switched to Unreal as their primary.
Wukong was
Really?
on UE5, right?
What's
Wukong
that?
Fallen Dynasty, Wukong. Then
I think
had
it
to
is.
be because that game's insane.
I'm pretty sure
You
that
get
was
it.
Unreal.
Yeah, it
Unreal
must have been
5.
I know the Final Fantasies are, of course, they're a pretty big staple.
right.
I used to play the Unreal Tournament games. I used to love those
Yeah.
games. Did you guys play them?
One of my favorite things about working with Unreal is always finding like really, really old ways that like it's very obvious that this is it's made for a first person shooter.
Yeah.
and
Ah,
it's like they'll never remove it. Like it's just kind of stuck there. Like some of these
really?
APIs, they're just it's never going away. But you can do so
Staple.
much. Like yeah.
Right.
Wow,
So
that's
But
awesome.
actually,
Hey,
since you're mentioning that, like everybody moving to Unreal now, when Unity, I know Unity is like
yep.
the next big boy in the town and all that stuff, and a lot of
pause.
definitely like gotchas use Unity like Genshin Impact or so on and so forth. When Unity try to change their monetization policies,
Oh man,
like
backwards.
how did that get a lot of people to be like, let's go to Unreal? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I think it was a couple years ago that they made that switch,
Yeah,
and
let's for the audience though, like what was that switch exactly? Let's
I
be a
don't
little
remember.
specific. I think they
You
what did they do? It was like an increase.
royalties?
Yeah, it
Like
was an increase
you?
in royalties or something like that. Like they walked back on that though.
Yeah, yeah. But
Zation changes. Okay, yeah. Let me look it up while you guys are doing it. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't
Oh,
remember what I was
sorry, it was a runtime fee. There we go. There we go. So they were actually going to increase the price, like have it the look at how many players are actually using the game, and then increase like how like what they would charge, like basically a runtime fee. So the more players that are playing the game, your game, the more you have to pay to Unreal or not Unreal. Sorry,
Yeah,
Unity.
Unity. Yeah,
Unity,
yeah,
yeah, Unity.
yeah,
That was the policy, and it would have bankrupted a lot of
yeah.
players. Yeah, would have bankrupted a lot of
Oh,
companies. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they tried to grandfather that thing. Like they wanted basically because the games like Genshin Impact had so many players playing it, and they wanted to get a piece of that pie. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a crazy new way to get licensing fees for sure.
right. Now they walk back. Like the Unity boss is comical, comically bad, I guess I should say.
Mm.
But yeah, but going back to it though. I'm assuming that you guys are using Unreal before that fiasco, though, right?
Yeah,
Development times take years,
yeah.
and yeah, right.
speaking of
So
which,
yeah,
let's go through tell us about the development workflow. Like, how does that look like? What is the structure of that of
yeah,
gamers?
yeah. I could. So actually, a really good um story I could tell too is about how like NetherRealm structured their engineers. So like, um,
I'm
and
like
this
a
goes back to
fanboy over
talking about
here.
this. So this is yeah, this is a fun story. So um, uh, NetherRealm was actually really late to switch to Unreal Engine 4. So they were very like yeah, they used Unreal 3 for
Ugh,
almost all their MK games.
disgusting.
Um, and the reason, even though Unreal Engine 4 was out and like everyone was switching to it, NetherRealm didn't want to. And the reason was because they had modded Unreal 3 so heavily that it would have taken them like I think they at one point the handful of engineers kind of like got together and was like, how long do we think it would take our team to switch to Unreal 4? And I think they said 3 years to rebuild all the tools because they had pushed the limits of Unreal 3 so far with rendering, like cloth simulation, lighting. They made so many custom tools that they were actually ahead, like for their specific case. Again, one fight line, right? Like making one scene look amazing. It was hyper specific. And so
Mm.
because of that, they were able to spend years and years and years building these tools up. And so MK, was it MK11, I think was Unreal 3 still.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think it was.
Wow,
I could
that's
be wrong.
insane. If
I
they did that with MK11 was pretty advanced. And I'm
Yeah,
They
I
they
was just playing it like an hour ago. It was
I mean they basically forked out what was Unreal 3 into their own thing. Now
yeah,
they couldn't continue that path though. It seems
no.
like it sounds
So
like they had a
MK,
limitation by then.
yeah, MK1, the newest one, is
The bad
officially
one.
2E4.
Hey,
That's
Oh yeah.
slow down, slow down. We're not here to trash talk MK1. We're definitely not
As a-
here to do that.
I'm sorry, man. Like
I
I,
didn't
I
even play
Slow
that
I've been
down.
one.
What's your gripe
I've
on
been play
MK1? Say your.
I've
say
been
your-
actually I've been playing Tekken and Tekken like tournaments and stuff. Like I just can't get into
Way
MK1.
different
I'm
games.
sorry,
They're
man.
way
I'm
different
sorry, man.
games. They're way
It's
different
so
games.
robotic. It's so
My-
robotic, and we're okay because he doesn't work at NetherRealm anymore.
No,
So-
but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Nether.
No,
First of
no.
all, we support local businesses, right? They're Chicago based.
Yes.
Let's calm down.
Support
All right.
Chicago.
If we wanted to, the guys that made well, I'm sorry, the guys that took over, not made, but took over Killer Instincts are also in Chicago too. By the way,
Oh, they are.
Oh
Iron-
wow.
Rare's
Iron
in
Galaxy?
Chicago. Oh wait,
They
Rare
have
was
Iron
not
I
in
remember
Galaxy.
that
Chicago.
game. I haven't
They're
played
not-
that one in
Iron
years.
Iron
yeah, I
Gal-
know.
Dude, Killer
Iron
Instinct is
Galaxy,
sick.
yeah.
I used to play Killer
Well,
Instinct
did you-
Sold. Oh,
I
amazing.
actually, I want to ask real quick though, like what because I mean the cat's on the bag. We're all Chicago based and stuff like that, but when you were looking out, did you actually look into Iron Galaxy as well before? Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember before I wrote that email that I was talking about, I shot out. There was a website back in the day, maybe you know about this one. It was called GameDevMap.com. I don't know why I
yeah.
remember it.
I know
And
that one. Yeah.
It would list every company, even if it was small, because Webfoot Technologies was the one I was talking about. As small as that was on that map. I went to like every nearby Chicago studio and blasted an email of like, here's my resume, and I'm a computer science student, and I never
Right.
got anything back from anyone.
Oh, that
Um,
sucks.
And so I believe Raw Thrills was on there. There was Bungie, or no, Day One Studios was on there before it got taken by Bungie, I believe.
What?
There was a lot of weird, like the scene back then was very different. NetherRealm was of course on there.
What did you think
Would
about
you
that, by
say-
the way? What's the
would-
343? I wanted to ask him about the 343 breaking away from Bungie. Was that like
Wait,
a
wait,
very
wait, wait, hold on.
Day
Before
one.
you
Day one.
before you ask that, I wanted to specifically about the Chicago thing. Let's go to Bungie 343 1 second later. Real quick though, because we are talking about like you were blasting like anybody that was in Chicago
yeah.
as in terms of game dev though. How is the scene now in Chicago? Does it feel like there's less game development companies in Chicago or more? Less.
For
Less.
sure. Yeah, you have.
Hey, how about let's make that game I was talking about with my buddy that killed himself. Let's do it.
Jesus.
I mean,
I'm already. The beer's getting into me now that I had the blood drawn.
Rest in peace to Buddy.
Told you.
That unalived himself, by the way. We don't
Yeah.
want to, you know.
We're super demonetized.
Again, where is this money we're talking about? Gabe, put a pin on that shit. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Put a pin
So
on it
you were
indefinitely.
you were blasting it out, but
Yeah.
but the Chicago gaming industry seems like it's dwindled.
I feel like it's I would say it's either dwindled or about stayed the same. And I say that because you really only have if you're like I need like again back before the pandemic. So Arena that's located in Seattle, so I'm like remote full time. And now it's totally different. Like because yeah, we have people all over the place now. It's awesome. But you know prior to that, if you wanted to be in Chicago and you wanted to make games, you really only had a handful of options for like big studios. You had NetherRealm was always considered like the biggest and best in Chicago. Like if you would get paid probably the most. They had the most high profile games, and they were like also just the biggest in terms of team size. Down from there, you had I don't know if they're still there. I'd literally have to look at this, but you had Wargaming. You used to have Wargaming. I believe
Wargaming.
Yeah.
What's
Wargaming had a Chicago office for World of Tanks. I know this.
Oh no, that's Chicago. I got a buddy that works there. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so they're still
I don't know if
they're
there.
definitely still around. I still get those
Okay.
commercials.
Yeah, they're still in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so they
Oh,
were
wait,
like,
wait, hold on. No, wait. Let me stop you there. The Wargaming Limited is in Cyprus.
well,
They have a
They
have a
have-
division in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah. Like he has a
Midway
whole
used to
team
have
here in
divisions
Chicago.
everywhere.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Really? Okay, but they're
He
based.
used to work at our previous company. You might have met him.
Really?
Jorge.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about. Oh, well, they used to be founded in Belarus. Oh,
Jim,
I know. Who you might be talking about.
elaborate a bit
Yeah.
on the experience of working at NetherRealm Studios, but also maybe people who were there before the whole Warner Brothers saving them from the Midway crisis and like kind of because
Yeah.
Midway
Saving
like
them.
went out of business. Midway went out of business, right? And then Warner Brothers
Yep.
saved them practically, bankrolled them out. Is that exactly how it happened, or am I narrating this incorrectly?
No, you're mostly correct. So Midway Games, um, was obviously where Mortal Kombat happened, and it
And
was over the
Blitz,
Chicago studio.
NFL Blitz, no,
Blitz and
N64,
NBA Jam.
Blitz League,
Ah, shit.
oh
By the way,
NBA Jam.
I'm getting another drink. You guys continue. Go.
Yeah. And they did go bankrupt. I don't remember all the details on like how that happened.
I think
or,
Marvel sued them for Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I think that was a big painful one. I think Mortal
I kinda
Kombat Armageddon, because they had customized your fighter, they had creature characters, and they had like ways to create symbols that look like X's that made them look like superheroes. And I remember reading into the litigation of this case, and I was like, shit, when Marvel comes after you, that's expensive. And that was pre-Disney, obviously, way before Disney bought Marvel. But Marvel
Yeah.
still was a powerhouse. That's why when Disney bought Marvel, it was like, what? This is insane. But it was. I remember that. I like faintly. I don't know the dollar amounts exactly, but I remember reading about that, and that was like in high school reading this, or even younger, reading about this, and then seeing, oh crap, Midway's going out of business, and I was like so sad,
Yeah.
depressed. And then magically, Warner Brothers, the big corporate boys, come on. Like, were there Warner Brothers implants working at NetherRealm Studios or no?
No.
Really?
Not at all. So
That's
and
cool.
it's funny because like I never it's like as an employee there, even as long as I was there, no one ever like sat you down and showed you the history, right? Like you just kind of heard word of mouth from people. And what I like, if I'm remembering everything correctly, what I had heard was that they went bankrupt, but about half of the studio stuck around. So I worked with a lot of guys that were part of Midway. They actually would still had like Midway jackets that I would see like in their offices and stuff. And a lot of the people who worked at Midway got together and said, yeah, we're gonna start another studio. And they founded NetherRealm Games and got backing from Warner Brothers to keep making more games. And again, I'm not telling you this as like a source of authority. This is what I like
The hearsay.
the hearsay that like no one said like, oh yeah, Warner Brothers really bailed us out and we're like working for them now.
Sound like a
The
bailout,
other
though.
thing was that Warner Brothers really left us alone.
That's sick.
It was really cool. Like we were largely up until recently, like after I had left, we were mostly left alone. We would send them and because I was on the mobile team, I was like, and then we had a console team and a mobile team. And for both teams, we would just kind of tell them what we're doing, what track we're on, and they would be like, cool, you guys know what you're doing, so keep doing it. We didn't have like, there was no one from Warner Brothers there day to day. They didn't send Warner Brothers people over to like check on us. Like there was none of that. So it very much felt like NetherRealm was able to like operate however they wanted, as long as they kept making good stuff. And all the MK games was just feeding them money. We were making them so much money. We were all like, because Warner Brothers owned a ton of studios. And they would always look at NetherRealm and be like, yeah, you guys are doing like, keep making us money. You're good. You don't need to do anything.
Oh man.
so-
Or imagine if someone did that to us back in the day.
I know.
That would
I
have been
know.
nice.
That would have been very nice. Actually, we did have a question. Did Midway create Midtown Madness? No, that was
No.
not Midtown Madness. Sorry, Tim.
Great game.
Midway
Yeah.
came out the Midway collections, and it was sick. I think Narc was one of them. Was Narc one of them? I think. Narc was a crazy game. It was pretty inappropriate, I think.
Just to answer our viewer here, it was Angel Studios, publishers of Microsoft. So it just Angel Studios,
Microsoft.
which is actually, I'm sorry, Angel Studios is now Rockstar San Diego. They're the ones that made it. There you go.
And I come corrected, by the way. It wasn't called Midway Collection. It was called Midway Arcade Treasures. And I owned all of them, and I was so proud to have them. And I played like Mortal Kombat Trilogy on this here, on the consoles, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and it was sick. It was a great experience.
Do you know what's funny though? I always get confused between Midway and Acclaim in terms of who made who, right?
What?
But that
Come on, man.
said, that said,
Turok, right?
Turok, yeah.
Turok was Acclaim. Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Was Gauntlet Midway? Or was that Acclaim?
Gauntlet is Midway. Gauntlet Midway 1985. Yes.
It was
Yes.
Atari.
Gauntlet
Was
was included on Midway Arcade Treasures #1 though.
Gauntlet
It was on
definitely
there.
Atari.
So it was on Midway. So did Midway buy Acclaim?
Ooh, good question. Good question. It was
Was that a
definitely
thing?
it was definitely on
Like,
Midway Arcade
is
Treasures
my-
1 along with Spy Hunter.
Is my drinking a little too much on that I went? Played
By
a
the
lot
way,
of Gauntlet and
let's talk
arcades.
about
Hell
Spy
yeah,
Hunter
I
real
played
quick.
I played a shit ton of that and Gauntlet Gold. Gauntlet Gold? No, Gauntlet Legends. Sorry, Gauntlet Legends on Dreamcast. Which they also had an N64 version of it, but the Dreamcast one was the more superior one.
Gauntlet was difficult
don't know
game.
that.
Who did you pick? Who'd you pick? Were you the warrior, the wizard, the elf?
I was always the Valkyrie.
God
Always the
damn it,
Valkyrie.
really? What did you like about the Valkyrie moves?
Well, because every time I play video games, I always play the woman.
Oh yeah, you are one of those. You are one.
Whenever
of those.
I play Mortal
I'm one of
Kombat,
those.
I play as Jade every time I play in Mortal Kombat.
But
Yes,
Jade-
exactly. I was always Jade. I mean, Jade was not on
she's-
X, I think.
She
I was
not
a
on
huge-
X.
when I
She
play
was-
I was a
11 with
huge Jade.
people.
I was huge Jade player, like in 9, when 9 was like,
The
big and
staff?
shit like that.
Oh yeah, 9, yeah, and also 11.
Who was the one that had the fan?
Katana?
Oh,
Back,
Katana.
it was like Katana. I loved her.
Yeah,
Katana, there you go.
Yeah.
Katana's
But-
wild.
okay, so-
Melina and Jade.
Hold on,
Those
hold
were
on.
like
Sorry,
And
resident
Chameleon.
Gen Z expert. Do you know what Gauntlet is? The game series Gauntlet?
No way he does.
I don't even remember.
It sounds super familiar, but there's something called Run the Gauntlet, and that's like a gore website where you try to keep watching, and it gets progressively worse.
That was your gore website? Growing up, our
No,
gore
that
website
was
was
a
rotten.
gore. That was a gore website where it just got progressively worse. I remember like me and my friend Rafe tried to do it in like sophomore year. We got pretty far in, and then we realized, hey, we should just stop because we're just gonna keep going, and it's
Yeah.
You
just
guys-
gonna continue to not phase us.
All right.
Run.com was
cool.
our favorite, like our go-to. Did you
Level
know that,
2
Jorge?
had a dude jumping off a dock, but there was like a metal platform underneath.
Oh,
And he misses the water and he hits his head and half his fucking head comes off. And then it has the footage of them like them taking his body away. They didn't
definitely
cover his body.
demonetized.
You can-
Decapitation talk is like
This has nothing to do with Gauntlet the game, but yeah, sure. How do we get to that?
we
What
le-
the fuck?
we were
have
talking
never
about
knew
Gauntlet
it
the game,
existed.
Gauntlet something. I don't know.
Oh my
Run the
gosh.
Gauntlet.
That's why Jim left to get his
No.
whiskey because like
Cheers to
Yadu's
you.
talking about gore.
Wait, everyone got their drinks? Let's do another cheers
Yeah.
for mid-time.
Cheers,
Past 10
cheers.
o'clock.
Cheers.
Cheers.
to
Halftime.
Midway.
Cheers to Midway. Dude, Midway, Blitz the League, or was it Blitz the League or Blitz? I think it was Blitz the League on 360.
Blitz the League was when they wanted to make
They
like
do
more of a
steroids?
serious blitz.
Yeah, and
right?
they had like the steroids, and you got
Yeah.
injured and the bones cracked. I was so up as a kid. I was so obsessed with the zoom in X-ray shit. I think it was like the Jet Li films that did that stuff. It was like the one with DMX in it, and then also that Blitz the League, and then also Need for Speed Shift. They had a commercial where you're like driving and you could see their skeleton, and the game was nothing like that, by the way. I was so mad when I played the game. I was like, where are the skeleton zoom-ins? Why am I not cracking my neck right now? It was just an ad.
Well, they definitely brought that into Mortal Kombat. By the way, okay, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
did just
true, true,
Google
true.
this. Hold on, I did just Google this though. So Midway actually acquired the rights to a lot of Atari games when Atari was getting liquidized.
Ooh.
That's why they got Gauntlet, they got Rush, Robotron, Joust, and Defender. It's a
Joust.
lot of yeah,
Joust
that's a
2.
lot of games that I'm pretty sure JP knows. That's his generation.
Right, I know
right?
Joust.
Right. But the one game
Yeah.
NBA Blitz is one thing. NBA Jam I fucking played a
Wait,
shit ton of.
NFL
That's-
Blitz.
NFL
NBA.
NFL Blitz. Okay, sorry,
You're right.
I gave it away. But anyway, NBA Jam I definitely played a shit ton, which Midway
Yeah.
had. Right. So Midway essentially was gone. And then NetherRealms was built up because WB came in and bought essentially Midway, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and a lot of the same employees stayed.
Right.
A lot of them. Yeah.
Are you fixing the puff of your beanbag, Yadu? Like, what was that
Yeah,
about?
I was like
Yep.
stinking into the ground.
You're like a
Oh,
cat.
no.
You're like making biscuits over there.
Speaking of NFL Blitz, they really need to find a way to improve Madden because
What?
it's been the same game for like 10 years.
We need
Don't
a new
have any
Blitz.
competitors. They don't have a competitor.
They need
There's
a
no
new
They
competitor.
don't
Blitz.
have a competitor, and because of the Ultimate Team, they make their money from that bullshit. And so they don't have to really improve.
How do you guys feel about people who buy the new 2K every year?
They buy 2K every year.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, they buy NBA 2K every year.
2K
Or Madden.
2K. Okay, here's my backstory on 2K. 2K actually was not always the big guys. The big guys used to be NBA Live. NBA Live
Yes.
used to own that shit. And then
Oh, it
2K
was so good.
came out. It was good.
Yeah.
NBA Live 05 had the dunk contest, and I was like hyped to come home and do backflips. And LeBron James was like new to the league at this time, and he was doing like a backflip. Yadu, you just had to be there. Doing a back two front somersaults before a dunk is insane. You could do dunks.
If
You know-
anyone could do it, it'd be LeBron.
Yes.
2K crushed them though.
And then-
yeah, Tim, you're right about that.
One of
But
the
real
NBA
quick,
Oh, okay,
go ahead. No, actually, no. Go ahead. Sorry,
I was
sorry, go
gonna
ahead.
say about the NBA Lives on PSP. There was a special mode that only existed on PSP. That's why multiple consoles used to be kind of cool, because special modes would exist on the same game that didn't exist on the other consoles. PSP had dodgeball on NBA Live. Dodgeball! You're playing basketball. You're using Antoine Walker, which you might not know, Yadu, but they know. They know Antoine Walker. He was a Chicagoan
Chicagoan.
basketball player, played on Miami Heat, and unfortunately was
Celtics.
kidnapped. He was Celtics, excuse me. Wait, I think he was on Heat for a bit too. He got
For a
kidnapped.
little bit, yeah.
And they stole his championship ring. And they robbed him
Aw.
in Chicago. Yeah, I remember thinking about we were like
Aw.
worried about his life because we were like, he's missing. He was tied up apparently and I don't know. But anyway. Game dodgeball, sick. All right, go. What were you gonna say, Jorge? I'm sorry. That's my end of my
I was gonna
segment.
say my experience with like the yearly games like Madden and FIFA and all that stuff was that I used to work at what used to be called EB Games, if you guys remember that shit.
Oh yes.
I think-
GameStop bought them.
I think yeah, they bought them. I think it was like my freshman year. I actually was working there when Halo 2 came out. And which to this day I
That's
actually regret not keeping this, but I actually was able to take home the cardboard cutout advertisement of Halo 2.
You'd be
With,
a
like,
millionaire now.
I know, and I'm a fucking idiot. Like it's gone. It's like gone. Anyway, regardless
I'm
though.
glad you know that, by the way.
Right. But my experience was that we had far too many trade-ins of like the
Wait.
previous years and the years before that of Madden and all that stuff. Like we didn't know what the fuck to do with those things. We really did not. And they just kept bringing them over, more and more discs and all that stuff. It was just so much like what do you call it? Waste. It was just like electronical waste. You know,
just
that they
mentioned
kept doing
something
it.
super cool though, by the way. Something that in
Sure, go ahead.
culture that's gone now. Like video game releases, the last big video game release was GTA 5, I think, where people actually waited in line to go and they did that. But the console releases, I remember PS2, like exactly, digital copies interrupted this. I'm a big digital copy guy. People hate me. I argue with people online about this probably at least once a month. Just like digital copy versus physical copy. I'm like, digital. They're like, you don't really own it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. If the America fails, if my games disappear, you know, I can still download games that have been delisted. America's failed.
Hey,
You know?
Jim, we got one question from the chat that says, "Can you talk about your Jar Jar Binks real girl doll?"
What?
Yeah, I know. We got the trolls in now, so now it's gonna start up.
Oh yeah, share
Roger,
share the
big
link, y'all.
sweat.
Do with your folks.
They're gonna start talking about rubbing your nipples too real soon. So don't worry about it. That's when these guys start up. Rubbing your nipples and also herpes some herpes simplex, but it'll be fun. Anyway, regardless though. Okay, so you know what? We can continue. We can actually continue on to the industry, but I do want to talk a little bit though because we did mention sports a little bit, right? And I do definitely we should probably get this out of the way though. The Super Bowl.
Halftime
Exactly.
show.
The superb owl. We've all
Ooh.
saw that shit, right?
Superb
The most
Yeah.
one of the most boring Super Bowls. And I do want to apologize to you, JP, real quick though. Gabe and I went to your Super Bowl party and stuff like that. Like, I was just so tired. Like I
Oh,
was
Rick,
so
I was so
tired.
busy, I did not notice what
Yeah,
was going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I was just,
I did not socialize at all. Like, look, I just came back from snowboarding the day before, and
Yeah.
then I still, even though I was sore, I still went exercising because like Jim
Yeah.
knows actually my
yeah.
exercise routine right now and what I'm trying to do. And I straight up lost 25 pounds now, and I'm trying to get to 70, so
Nice.
which would be 30 pounds in general. Um, so when I came to your place, I was fucking tired, dude. I am so sorry
You
about
brought
that.
me Glenfiddich. It's all forgiven.
Yes, I did. That was my present and all that stuff. But my God, despite how tired I was, that was one of the most boring Super Bowls I could remember. I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, I mean, boring, yeah, but I just loved seeing a good quarterback get demolished by great defense. And they didn't do anything fancy. They just rushed four guys. He didn't blitz one time, and they got like 10 sacks.
You know, and
That was amazing.
I bring this up because Jim here is a big Bears fan. Big Bears season ticket from your father,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah. But you told me this was the first year you actually started paying attention to like the coaches, the the offensive coordinator and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like
I
How-
couldn't name any of them before.
how depressing is it when you started paying attention to that stuff though?
Yeah, me and my brother have been going to Bears games since we were in high school. Like,
Hmm.
and so we were there for the NFC Championship double doink.
Ooh.
Like, and I remember that. Like, I like, and that was back when we didn't really care too much. Like, we would go have, enjoy it for what it was, but we weren't like in it. We didn't like follow and keep up with the team week to week. And I think it was like the last couple of years, especially when Justin Fields started. That's like when both of us really started. Like, we'd always go to the games, but that's when we took our it's like, oh, let's like, now we're really interested. Like, this is fun.
Yeah, he was a
This is
very good player to get people interested because
Yeah.
he was electrifying,
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
and now, and so that all just kept building. I would say over the last 3 to 4 years is when I've really started to just pay attention more. And now I like follow week to week and what they're doing, and now coaches' names. So that was the other thing, because like people would be like, "Oh, hey, you go to all the games. Like, what do you think who do you want to see the Bears hire?" And I'd be like, "What? I don't. I just didn't." I of course knew like Ben Johnson's name like was just getting floated around and so much that I of course knew who he was.
By the way, this is what should probably make all of us and the computer scientists in this whole thing jealous, because this dude used to be I think a computer engineer, switched to offensive coordinator, like switched just entirely to like football.
Oh shit.
Ben Johnson, yeah, he was.
Yeah. The dude
Total
was our
computer nerd.
industry. He was a computer
Yeah.
nerd, and now he's
It's
probably
like,
making millions, a lot more millions than us, right? As the
Yeah.
head coach of the Bears.
Yeah, he
You
got
know?
a mathematics degree, but
Yeah.
went into computer science. And, yeah,
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
That's
so he's got his brain
thought-
wrapped around how to manipulate a football field and push
Yeah,
players in a certain position.
The
and
chat says he has a
yeah.
lot of bad takes, though.
It's good to have that.
Dude, okay, Tim, buddy, Tim.
Yeah, he was upset that we got rid of Fields and took Caleb, so he does have that bad take on his resume.
That was not a bad take. Go get fucked. That was
It's a
not
bad
a bad take. Fields was not the problem. By the way,
He was.
your wife still has not fixed my my Fields jersey yet.
I told you that wasn't gonna happen anytime soon when you gave it to her. I'm like, dude, not gonna happen for a while.
If she can,
Going on
if she can at least get it before the next season, that's I'll be
I
happy
could push her
about
on
that.
that. I could push her on that. Yeah.
Yes, at least that. At least that. Okay. But Tim in the chat, get fucked. Okay. No, I got great takes. Okay. And I was the one in the chat that straight up said we should bring Ben Johnson, not fucking Vrabel, not fucking the dipshit McCarthy or whatever his name was from Texas or from Dallas. No. Get fucking Ben Johnson. I was so happy. I mean, I should say half and half. I was happy that Detroit lost so that we can get Ben Johnson earlier. If the McCaskies actually did something, rest in peace, Virginia McCaskey, you fucking witch. But
Hey, leave her alone. She was
But-
not the problem.
she was not. She was. Are you sure? Are you
She didn't
sure about
manage the
that?
team. It was like George McCaskey and Ed McCaskey and Michael McCaskey.
Yeah, there you go.
Virginia was just,
there, you
you
go.
know.
There you go. There you go. Rick Roll in our chat. Fields won as many games as Caleb this year.
Well, that's
Wait.
bullshit because Caleb should have had like 11 wins if his coach didn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck this one up again." So wins are a team fucking stat. Look at
They are.
what Caleb Williams had more yards than Fields had in 2 years. So just a bad comment.
I'm
Sorry.
on video, Kevin.
But anyway, now that you're paying attention as a Bears fan, though, like, does it make you more sad? Well, I mean, I should say this.
It's
This is where we're going to be at. As a Bears fan, we always win the preseason hype, postseason hype, or whatever, offseason.
We won
That's
the
the
last 3 off seasons. Yeah. for
Exactly, and we already won. We got
Yes.
we got Ben
Yeah.
Johnson. You know, we still have Caleb, and Virginia died. So yeah, we're winning right now at this very moment. Okay, so
The-
but once the season starts, it fucking goes downhill from there, man. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that this is like the one year that things turn around. But we're fucking Bears. I don't know.
well,
we
Look
we
at every
fucking used to lose.
like.
we're used to this.
I mean,
And
we said that about the Lions for a long time. And look at them. We said that about the Cubs for a long time. And look at them.
And
Eventually, it happens.
and the
You get the right
Lions
guy.
and the Lions, like, I mean, they're kind of depressed losing Ben Johnson and a few other people and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. A lot of
So-
it goes back to their head coach now. If he's really truly a good head coach, then he'll make it happen. But we'll see.
Yeah. And as Rick Roll just mentioned, yeah, Justin Fields would probably have a lot more yards and everything like that if it wasn't for Wilson still playing for the Steelers.
I mean, you just watch. If you think Fields is better than Williams, you're not watching the game.
Bullshit.
You're not watching the game.
Williams still had just freshman jitters and stuff like that, but like there were a lot of times that first off, Caleb Williams cannot run. Let's be honest about
Yeah,
that.
he can. He had
No,
the
he
most
didn't.
combined. He had like the third most rushing yards for quarterbacks this year. So what the hell are you
But the
talking
thing is,
about?
every time he runs, he just runs like this, you know, like he runs scared all the time. He's always
Well,
looking for the.
he doesn't
for the
want to run. He
throw.
wants to be a pocket QB who runs less. So
Right, that's what he is,
and
right?
Did you read the fact that he wanted to watch film with the coordinator, but the coordinator refused to do it?
What, Shane
There's
Waldron?
there's so much bad shit that went on this year.
Which, which, by the way, apparently Shane Waldron now is the passing coordinator for the Jacksonville. By the way,
oh, that's great.
how is this guy how did anybody just hire? I don't know, man. Who does he know? Yeah, exactly. Right, shit. All right. Well, anyway, we kind of deviated. though.
Sorry.
Super Bowl.
I'm passionate about it.
The only thing that was interesting was, of course, Kendrick Lamar, right? And he obviously did play that song, the song that everybody knows, that sort of thing. But Serena Williams popped up, and everyone was
She
like,
did.
"Yeah," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why was that important though?" I don't.
I had to watch it again, and
Why was
Right.
that important?
Serena is his ex.
Wait, what did you say? Yeah,
Aw,
dude. Resident.
That's not why though.
I'm sorry, Gen Z.
Yeah,
Gen Z.
no,
Resident.
no, okay. Well, it's two things. A, Serena dated Drake back in the day, and B,
She's
'cause
from
she
Compton,
did a crip-
California.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
she did a
she-
crip walk. She crip walked back.
She dated
She didn't do
Drake.
that exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
at one point, and he.
So Oh, that was the Drake diss that she brought in Serena Williams. That's I didn't
Yeah.
understand. I didn't understand why it was so important that she was there.
I don't know if you know this, but SZA's also Drake's ex.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So
Really?
that's two of
Damn.
Drake's ex. And then SZA also like she got backlash for like doing a Crip Walk esque move at I don't know if it was the
The
U.S.
Olympics.
Open.
Gen Z
It was
knows
the
Might have been the
Olympics.
U.S. Oh, the
Gen Z
Olympics. She didn't do it at Wimbledon. I remember because she said if I had Crip walked like that at Wimbledon, I would have gotten fined.
Wait,
She
wait,
said that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
our viewers are saying that he did mention her in the tracks and stuff like that. Okay, so that's why it was so important. So
No.
he
So
still
I don't know. So the song "Marvin's Room" by Drake, that's actually about
Ooh,
SZA.
classic. Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
And then, because he talks about fucking that girl on the party, and that's him cheating on SZA, and that's why SZA has that line in Telekinesis, which is like, "You fucked that girl that you met at the party." That's about Drake.
I made
Really?
my
did not
own
know-
remix
so-
of that song, by the way. That's a secret of mine, but I just looked it out now out loud. Marvin's
is our
Room.
remix that I can use as my DJ set when I want to be a DJ for extra money and my
It's
my
actually
midlife
pretty
crisis.
funny. I should re-record it now with this nice microphone. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can put it on your DJ set.
Oh, awesome,
It
dude.
was pretty stupid. I was a dumb high schooler or freshman.
Fucking hilarious.
Freshman year.
That we did have like a bit of boomers in the party. JP, I don't want to name names. You know who it is, right? That kept talking about like, who's this fucking Kendrick? Who's this Kendrick? I don't know this person. I don't know this person. And would
Oh,
always
yeah.
complain. You know who it is. I'm not gonna say it. You could say it if you want to, JP.
Fox News was freaking out about. They were like, "It was the
yeah.
worst."
I was so busy running around. I don't remember who it was, but yeah.
JP, yeah, thank you. By the way, JP, shout out to you for hosting the Super Bowl party. this year.
Kendrick,
Dude,
pull Fox News again, and my life is yours.
Yeah, no, like fucking. Well, it was on Fox, and they had like all these fucking stupid ass commercials for Fox Nations and Fox News itself. But dude,
Oh yeah.
going back to it, man, chili cook-off, fucking great, fucking
Yeah.
great.
We're
Jim,
doing that every
that's a
year now.
nice chili
We have
cook-off.
decided.
Now, I would suggest this: if you want to do two things at the same time, not the last Super Bowl. Sorry, it was like maybe 2 or 3 Super Bowls before. I had the pizza off, in which we found out what generic pizzas is actually the worst and the best, and that shit was great. That actually like
Yeah.
popped up pretty good, right?
Yeah,
So
you
if you-
told me about
everyone-
that, like Pizza Hut, probably the best.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of the generics. Yeah.
How bad did it smell 2 hours after everyone ate? Oh shit, yeah. Tim asked, how bad did the whole place smell after 2 hours after everyone ate the chili?
Actually, we did. It was.
It was fine.
It was fine. We had none of that. We just had a great time.
I
Yeah,
don't,
that's
I don't,
true.
I don't
Beer, lots
recall
of chili.
any flatulence at all. I don't.
By the way, I do not agree who won though. Gabe and I and Karen all voted not for the person that ended up winning. I guess number one.
Honestly, no.
okay.
Actually, the complete opposite.
Number-
I think the one that won was the one I wrote notes on all the chilies. If you guys want me to read them, and I thought I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna fucking read them. I'm gonna read them out.
Oh, God.
Because
One of them had a very cinnamon taste, which I actually appreciated. But the one that was more milky, which I think someone just told me that the sausages that were used was venison. It's
It
deer.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
That was
I
Those
got
are
them
my
up.
sisters.
I got the notes.
But that was my favorite. That one was my
And
favorite.
I think she couldn't win because there was a few people with milk allergies, so people couldn't vote for
Oh,
Oh,
that
that was
makes
the
it.
best.
She screwed
total
herself by
sense.
having that in there.
Oh, by the way, Yadu, you fucked up for not going, man. You missed out on this
Dude,
He
show.
I
had
had
homework
so
to
much
catch
to
up
do.
on, and
Uh,
Oh
he
my
doesn't
God.
manage time well. Whatever.
I was a big fan of the
talk
chicken
about
salsa
later.
verde.
Yeah, that one
That
was
was-
good. All right,
Yeah,
I got
hold
the
on.
notes here.
Yeah.
7
got the notes.
salsa,
He's got the
7
notes.
chilies. Okay, here. you
7
can see-
chilies. It was
so you
supposed to
can
be.
see it.
It sounded like
Oh wow.
it sounded like it was supposed to be 8. What happened to the 8th one?
It was 7. It was 7. 7's a lucky
It was
number.
7. It was 7, but I thought there was supposed to be 8. There was like
Yeah.
a number
There were
8.
supposed to be 8. I think my brother bailed on making chili and made wings
That's-
instead. So
Oh, those wings are
Okay,
decent.
there
Those
you
are
go.
decent. Those wings are decent.
There we go.
yeah.
All right, so
All right,
number
go
1,
ahead. Go ahead.
carrots used well, very welcoming. Okay. Number 2.
The fuck does that mean? Hold on, wait.
Jessica wipes.
Why are you? Why
Because
are
she
you?
makes a pumpkin-based chili.
Oh, nice.
Carrots Oh,
Yeah.
Now, why are you
okay.
deciphering
That sounds
my
pretty great.
notes? All right, questions after.
You're
Number
you're
two.
saying
Number two.
okay.
Number two. Profound spice,
Mm.
smoky, and
Spice.
dark color.
Profound spice.
Number
Chili
three.
review going on.
Number
So
three.
profound. So profound.
It was. It made me cough actually. But number three.
Bringing up race again,
Sausages.
Gabe. Jeez.
Sausages were good. Not really spicy as noted. Number two is actually more spicy, but love the bean choice. And then another note after the fact, I learned that the meat that was used in number three was hunted. It was hunted venison.
Oh,
It was freshly made, locally hunted venison, and I love number three.
From
Number three-
Wisconsin with an actual bow and arrow.
Exactly, bow and arrow.
Hold on. Someone in the chat just mentioned, why is dark color noteworthy?
That's what
think
I said.
because
Bringing up
colors-
race again.
Because the colors were some of them were not appealing colors. Some of them were not appealing colors, and the dark
Oh
color.
yeah, I can see that.
I'm sorry, are you saying dark color is not
Sometimes it is about.
No. Dark color is appealing. Dark color, the darker the berry, the sweeter juice in this case. So number four.
I would actually agree with that, but yeah, I'll continue.
Number four was okay. Nothing that stuck. That's what I wrote. Number five, Mexican style, pleasant surprise, good. Needed a bit more kick, but good is what I wrote. Number six,
Yeah,
the
that was the chicken salsa beverly. Yeah.
the winners somehow. The winner of the chili cult, which I thought was a complete fraud. I wrote no comment, just how bad it was. I wrote no comment
bro.
on here.
Oh,
'cause
really?
I didn't want to be
Oh.
mean.
He spent the longest time making his
Uh,
chili. Like it was almost a 2-day long chili.
Was that the
Oh.
one that
Awful.
which one was the one that was like tasted like cinnamon, like complete cinnamon?
That's number
Was that
six.
six or
Remember
seven?
cinnamon at all?
6.
6 or 7. There was six?
I think so. Are you thinking cumin? Are you thinking cumin?
No, cinnamon. One of them was like really cinnamon. And,
Yeah.
and
I
to your
don't
point,
remember cinnamon at all.
and to your point though, I think it was maybe 7 or 6. One of the last ones was like had a very very dark color and very meaty.
That was number 6.
And when
Number 7
And you
was
had to
build your
add
own.
your
Number 7 was
ingredients
build
to
your
it.
own.
But that was the problem. That was the problem. That was the one that looked good, but then when you ate it, it was just so fucking
Bad.
just not bad.
Okay,
I don't want to
not-
say
not
bad.
bad.
It didn't taste as appealing as it looked, I should say.
Mm.
Right.
Didn't
I
live
thought
up to
the
visual appeal.
presentation was substandard, and I thought the flavor was. I'm sorry to crap on your chili, whoever number 6 is. Don't tell me, JP, because I like to crap on people I don't know. So honestly, number 7 at first, like the experience of building your own. And I know that was your sister, JP. I was frustrated at that because I thought it was just like noodles and chili. It was like noodles involved, but it was like build your own everything. Beans.
Oh, that wasn't my sister. No,
Who is that? Oh, okay, don't tell. Don't say.
a neighborhood friend.
Oh, okay. It wasn't the worst though. I thought that was decent. Number 6, because
Yeah.
number 7, I said build your own with noodles. A lot of work, but enjoyable. That's what I wrote. Number
Yep.
6 though, the no comment. I can't believe that one. But
Well, yeah, because
yeah.
so
but-
the way I did it was I tried them all and I brought it down to 3. I think it was like 7 and 5 and maybe 2 or 3.
It must
and then
have
I
been
had
3
half
if the
a bowl
the
of
milky
each one. I had
Number
a
three
half,
was-
yeah, it was. I had
Yeah.
half a bowl of each one to get more of a taste, and then I ended up voting for 5 because I thought it was very creative. The
5?
chicken with the salsa
Oh yeah,
Valverde.
Mexican style. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Me,
that
I eat
was
Mexican
like, oh,
every
this is
day.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry, but like out of all of them, yeah, definitely. Like there were a lot of them that were like very like plain chili, not
number
very
one
good.
was plain Jane. Number 1. Was
But
plain
honestly, there
Jane.
were only two that like really stood out. The one that tasted like cinnamon, which to this day we don't know what the number was,
to
but
this day, like yes.
the venison milky one though, that one was just so surprising to me. That one should have
Yeah.
won.
That one should
should've
have won.
won.
Stolen.
I'm
But they
sorry.
won number
I'm
3.
sorry.
They were third
I'll
I'll
place.
tell
They
my
were third
sister
place.
that. I'll tell my sister that.
Stolen valor.
Oh yeah, your sister was the one I liked. I forgot about that. Your
Yep.
sister was the one I liked. I forgot about that. Okay. Duh.
Your sister was the one you're like. You want to rephrase that?
The meat of his sister. Okay, that's also
Okay.
chili.
So much work.
I'm sorry. So we're taking it back though. We still got our guests here. So as a Bears fan, what did you care about the Super Bowl itself?
Hey, Karen, you hear what Gabe is saying?
As a Bears bodybuilder that used to work at NetherRealm, how do you feel about the Super Bowl?
I do. No, I'm interested in cinnamon chili now. I never thought.
So that's the one that got you, not the venison one, but the
No, that was
cinnamon
like-
one.
that's
No,
cool,
cinnamon
but-
does sound notable, right? It
And
does sound.
No,
like-
actually, I do recall every time I take you, or you're at my place and stuff like that, and I show you the
Yeah.
beers. You always seem to like the more like, not
Weird
fruity,
ones, like
candy ones.
candy,
Yeah,
candy,
chocolate. Yeah,
chocolate,
sweet.
s'mores.
That's
Give
the
me a
word.
S'mores one.
Yes,
Uh,
That was
yes.
fire. Absolutely.
There we
fire.
go.
You got a sweet tooth, Jim?
I do.
Hey, what were the snacks like at NetherRealm Studios? Do you guys have snacks?
Yeah, we did. There was.
What about Arena Net?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you're sorry. You're playing.
Actually,
You're,
no, Arena. That's even better. Yeah, I've
I
been
thought
there
no. You're. I
twice.
thought you were
Arena has
remote.
better snacks
All
in
right.
NetherRealm
Yeah,
Studios.
but I've been there twice.
Okay.
Every year they bring us out, and I've been there twice so far, and they have like a full-on kitchen stocked with everything. But so no, okay, NetherRealm. It was really funny. Towards the last year I was there, they added a 2 vending machines where you had to pay for your own snacks. I could not believe it. They always had like 3
Should be free.
containers.
Fucking Morgan Stanley, they did.
Yo. Do not. You no. You do not say the company that you use. Oh no.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it because they actually I was really impressed with like they had 2 fridges full of like all the beverages you wanted. They always kept Dunkin' Donuts, iced coffees. They had all the like 4 shelves of LaCroix at all times.
What?
They had chocolate milk at one point. Like
LaCroix.
and, yeah,
LaCroix should
they
be
had
free.
everything: apple juices, orange juices.
Okay, apple
you
juice,
got- you guys like
Martinelli.
the
Martinelli.
Revives? No, not those.
Which apple juice then?
But Oh, maybe maybe it was. I
the
would never
glass.
go.
You know,
So I
you,
just
you're
saw
not an apple
glass,
juice guy.
glass
Yeah,
on
yeah,
my
it's
top.
Martinelli probably. Yeah.
I'm
it-
very
uh,
surprised there was actually a band. Like I don't know apple juice at all. I didn't know there was
Yeah.
actually like a brand
But-
that you guys love.
Martinelli, dude. Look it up.
Martinelli, yeah, they got like the
I think
sparkling.
that-
I haven't had
I-
the sparkling actually, and I'm a sparkling
I'm s-
guy.
I'm
Really?
sorry. I'm not a apple juice guy. So sorry. I don't.
yeah,
Sparkling grape.
I was
Sparkling
always impressed
apple.
with their selection.
Oh.
And then they also had like they had tubs of cereal, they had snack
Tubs
bowls,
of
they had
cereal.
fruit, they had.
This is
Oh,
Arena or
cereal.
NetherRealm Studios.
This is NetherRealm. This is
There's
just
NetherRealms.
for now. Yeah.
So you had
Wait,
to
wait,
buy
but,
them.
but they did not have Chicago centric stuff. They didn't have like the Chicago hot dogs or anything like that.
Nah.
No, no
lame.
cafeteria like that. No cafeteria.
By the way, everybody in our chat, Chicago hot dogs are the best fucking hot dogs. I have
we had a good
decided.
Cafeteria.
Pause. But wait,
It wasn't like it wasn't like you'd come in there and have catered food or anything. This would be like snacks left out.
By the way, I had to real quick though. I had to double check the chat because I lost JP at the control room, like the URL, but JP's like still in our stream, which is
no,
weird.
I see him.
Wait,
I
what?
see him. I'm mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a you problem. Wait, but
Wait,
Jorge whispering into the mic saying hot dogs.
I'm sorry, chatter. Disagreeing. They gotta go with corny dogs. No, man. Fuck you with the corny dogs, man.
No.
All right. Corny dogs are bullshit. It's just like you're more focused on the chili in the corny dogs than you are in the hot dog itself, man. Okay, that's what you want. You just want the chili. No, corny dogs ain't shit. Now, we're Cranker 69. No, no.
I know who that is.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, you
Nice.
fucking punch him in the
Anchor
nuts,
69, know that guy?
or if it's a girl, punch him in the vagine.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
What about there they?
do whatever, but no.
Gotta be inclusive.
Coney dogs Correct. And dude, I'm coming from a guy from Ohio, you know, and we got people from Cincinnati that love the fucking like Skyline chili bullshit, right?
Oh my
Skyline
God. Most
Skyline chili.
overrated fucking thing.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Most
so
overrated
overhyped.
fucking chili.
Overhyped.
Because all it is fucking cheese,
It's just bullshit.
and then chili with spaghetti. But everything is cheese. It's like, do you want chili on your fucking like chili? No, you want
You want a
cheese on
side
your
of chili with just
Exactly.
2 pounds
No,
of cheese?
fucking bullshit. And that's what I feel about Coney dogs too. Look, I used to love Coney dogs, but
Coney
I've gained
dogs.
appreciation. I've
Guys are
gained
fucking
appreciation
hilarious.
for Chicago dogs because like it actually focuses on the
I
like
think
the taste
Chicago
of the
hot dogs are
dog.
the best hot dogs. I'm a big New York pizza
Hu-
over Chicago pizza, but
100%.
I'm taking Chicago hot dogs over New York hot dogs any
There you
day.
go. Skyline chili is not the same. I was told how good it was, and I
you're
was
over
like,
your New
I was
York
like,
pizza over Chicago pizza. What'd you just say, Yadu?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck, y'all
Hard.
do? Do I have to kick your ass? No.
What
What's
do you
up?
mean?
No.
New York pizza over Chicago pizza?
Bullshit. No.
Not valid.
no,
Not
no,
valid.
no.
Chicago
Not
pizza
valid.
is
Invalid.
definitely-
Both of
Chicago
you
pizza
are
solid.
South Loop. Have you ever went to
Chicago pizza's
Devil
the
Dog?
best.
What do you?
Devil
You ever
Dogs,
been to-
yes. I know the Devil
Devil
Dog
Dogs,
guys.
yeah.
I know them personally.
New York
Chicago.
pizza, give me a
Shout out.
slice of Peniala vodka pizza that I have to fold over like a piece of shit.
Whoa,
no, man.
That-
whoa,
Dude, like New York style pizza has so much grease that you actually have to take like a paper towel and like
it depends on
put
where
it
you're
down.
getting it.
New York pizza is so shit that they sell pizza slice for like $1. Okay,
There you
and
go. There you
yeah,
go.
dollar
That's what
slices.
makes it
What is that?
fucking
A
amazing.
grilled cheese cardboard pizza. All right, and guess what? I'm coming for you
No.
guys. If you're from New York, fuck your pizza, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Pizza's dog shit. Its crust is like the box it came in, putting too much cheese, not enough sauce, and barely any toppings. Charging you extra for toppings completely. Everywhere you go in Chicago, they're
Jorge,
charging mad
disconnect
extra
him.
for toppings.
Disconnect. Just turn off his video.
All right, buddy. Jim, as our NetherRealm Studio Chicago guy, also bodybuilders type thing. What's your favorite pizza?
Favorite pizza? I like Lou's.
Illuminati.
Lose.
If someone, yeah, because like people from NetherRealm have come to Chicago and they would be like, "All right, Chicago person, I want the best pizza. Where do I go?"
You told him lose.
I'd send them to Lou's.
I'm a little bit mad at you, but it's a safe choice. It's a safe choice.
Pequods.
Pequods is second best deep dish behind.
Have you,
Jim?
Jim, have you ever been to Pequods yet?
Nope.
Oh my God, dude.
There we
Oh,
go.
you know what?
That's
I
what
will.
I'm gonna mention.
I will take you
Asterisk.
there. I will take you there.
You've
I
never
will
been to
take it.
Pequods, Jim.
He's never been to Pequods.
No wonder you're
I-
sending
my
people
whole life.
to Illuminati. No, and not to throw shade at Illuminati. Illuminati is definitely a Chicago style pizza place. Homer and in Chicago style pizza place.
I would say better than Giordano's Illuminati's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
But Illuminati
For
does
sure.
this weird thing though. Like if you're not like if you're for the pizza experience, you get deep dish. They have just a slab of like a bunch of like if you get the sausage
Wait.
deep dish, it's like a big slab of sausage. It's really
Did
weird.
you guys mention Pequods yet or what?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
mention
we
Pequods.
do. We
Oh,
were
okay.
mentioning it. Yeah, because Yadu over here likes New York style because he's a fucking
Go
idiot.
All right,
Brothers.
Chad agrees. Chad agrees. Loses better than Geo's, and I agree.
Okay, look, I agree. Doug Brothers is good only when I'm fucking drunk, dude. But that's
Wait,
not
wait,
that's
which
not
one?
saying much.
Exactly.
I will
Exactly.
fucking eat White Castle when I'm drunk. Okay, So that's not where we're going
Yeah,
at.
jalapeno
Right?
Jalapeno cheeseburgers.
when I'm drunk.
Jalapeno cheeseburgers. from
I
White
used to
Castle.
live. I look. Remember, I was raised in Columbus, Ohio. White Castle was headquarters in Columbus,
Oh,
Ohio.
yeah.
It's a
And
Chicago
I could
company,
not,
though.
I could not eat that shit sober. Right? I'll tell you that right now.
Did
all
they
right?
have? I'm curious. When you were at OSU's, did they have what's that sandwich place? PJ's. Was that open at that time?
PJs
Yeah, the sandwich
Oh.
place.
in Columbus?
Yeah, on campus.
Yes, I know of that place. It was
Yo.
right. It was right
That-
across the street from Outer End. By the way,
Yeah.
our chatter Max would probably know that. By the way, yes, right across from Outer End, there was this place called PJ's, and it was like the most drunkest of sandwiches
Yeah.
because they would have like
You only
Illuminati.
get PJ's drunk.
French fries
and
on
the
that
next
shit.
day,
Yeah,
It's fucking you up completely. Remember, like me and my boy, we were out, and the next day, like we blacked out. The drive home was just sitting there, and he just starts smacking his tongue, and he goes, "Yo, what could I have burnt my tongue on last night? I just look at the receipts in my pocket and go, oh, we had Philly steaks at PJ's.
And they're basically not known for the Philly chicks, by the way.
They're not.
That's terrible. I was throwing
Nah,
up all night.
They're known for like the huge ass sandwiches that you put French fries in. Which, by the way, by the way, another drunk food that when I first moved to Chicago, you guys ever been to Angela's Burritos?
No.
No.
Angela's Burritos over in Lincoln Park. Sorry, they would give you the California burritos, which is like beef, sour cream, beans,
Not
French
rocking with it.
fries,
As
all in a
Mexican,
burrito.
Not rocking with
I'm
it.
on
Sour
I'm on
cream.
No. I get it. As a Mexican, bad.
No,
but as
not
a drunk,
rocking with that.
but as a drunk person,
amazing.
good, amazing.
Wait,
exactly.
Wait,
Yes.
hold on. Speaking of Philly cheesesteaks, Chicago is known for a breaded cheesesteak. It's like a breaded steak sandwich. And it's at
Chicago
Portillo.
steak.
It's at
Portillo's.
Riccobini's actually has it.
Are you
Portillo's.
trying to say cheesy beef? What are you talking
No, Riccobini's. Riccobini's
You
in the
guys
South
know I
Side
still
pizza
haven't had
joint.
Portillo's. I've been here 3 years and I still haven't had Portillo's.
Portillo's.
wait,
You should have an Italian
Highly
beef.
overrated.
Italian
Hold
beef
on,
at Portillo's. Wait, JP, calm down. Calm down, buddy.
Hold,
I don't
Jake,
like where you're coming with that. I don't like how you come with that.
Hold on, calm down, Gabe. 1 second though. Actually, out of all the people that we have, especially our guest here, Jim, who would be considered like the longest in Chicago?
Me?
I would say
was born
Jim.
here.
Gabe.
Oh wait, Jim's older than me. Yeah, so he's here.
Yeah,
so
I
since he's
was
older than me,
16
because
years
he's
in
born the
Chicago.
same year as Soldier Boy, 1990. So
Yeah.
that's it.
So JP 16 years. I'm 13, going to 14. You two were born here. Yadu, where were you from?
Rhode Island, then I went to high school in Columbus. But I've been
Okay,
here 3
Oh.
years.
But here's the weird thing about it though. Like no
That's
matter
why I
what,
like New York pizza because I'm from the East Coast.
That's why
I
you like
got you.
trash pizza. Damn. Okay.
I know you're stupid. Anyway, regardless.
It's better.
But what I'm saying here is this. Now, what's interesting though is that people that were from Chicago, and this is how basically I wouldn't say big, but how diverse the food choices are here in Chicago is that even a lot of people that are actually from Chicago, born in Chicago, live many years, still have not experienced the full amount of what Chicago has done. Right?
Mhm.
Jim has never been to Pequot.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It's huge.
Crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
And I'm sure Gabe has never been to Angela's Burritos. You know?
Who? That's
Years
not a
ago,
staple. That's not
Pequot's-
a.
I like
You could
that.
pay,
like
I
that
think it was
Angela's
like
Burritos.
$10
Has any of
for
you
a
guys
personal pizza and a beer. It was amazing.
Where?
have any of you guys been to
Pequot's.
Wiener Circle?
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I
Wait,
saw the
Jim-
game there
Jim-
actually.
No, I
Jim
don't
said
know what you're
Jim
talking
just
about.
said no. You know?
Jim.
Yeah.
Well, I also eat a lot. Like,
All right, Jim, we're hanging out this weekend. We got a 3-day weekend. Let's hang out Monday on the President's Day. You're off Monday?
I am off on Monday. Yeah.
We're hanging out
It
Monday,
is-
Jim. It's it.
Grilled
Name
board,
of Chicago
all the
place,
restaurants.
Riccobini's, whatever. Chicago place, we're going. We're gonna eat some shit. Oh yeah, but you're like
We
an
have to take a Pequod.
aesthetics bodybuilder, so
I'm
you're like,
actually down for Pequot.
Do you
Like,
think
Pequot's
we'll be
pizza,
able?
Like, I
Yeah.
do want to go. Like,
let's
that is-
go Monday. Monday Pequod Day.
I'm
I
down.
guess yeah, because like we have like a snowstorm happening
So
Friday.
That's a
we used to
perfect
always go to
dish.
Pequod's and then go
Yeah.
to the movie theater because it was right next to a movie theater. It was always Pequod's before the movies.
Oh, Webster.
Yeah,
So it was like a
there
tradition.
it is.
Yeah.
I live
There it is,
above
there
a
it
movie
is.
theater, so we can order here
Ah.
and go there. Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Boo.
Forgot
All
about-
right, all right. So
And then
we're
I-
done. Sorry,
yeah.
we're done with the Super Bowl the Super Bowl stuff
I
we
think
talked about.
we've all moved on with it.
Yeah, we
No,
totally
yeah.
moved on to Super Bowl.
That was a
right,
trash
right.
Super Bowl. We all left before the end of the game, and
Yeah,
JP,
we
we
did.
loved the
Yes,
party. The
really?
game just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Oh,
agreed.
we still have our guests though. I do want to talk a little bit. So okay, so we got to the Bears. We got to obviously your gaming industry. Stuff
Who's
like
our
that.
guest?
But
I'm just kidding.
one thing that Jim does do though is bodybuilding, right? And boxing. So those are the two things I want to talk about. Actually, let's start with boxing actually, because Yadu actually is going to start training me for boxing as well.
Oh, no.
Actually, for free, right, Yadu? No, just kidding.
No. As Yadu's manager, I say no.
I don't know.
He can't
just
afford the
"Yeah,
time."
let's do it.
He's already canceling on parties because he can't afford the time. Like,
Yeah, he's been given free internships, Jorge. Pay the man.
He needs his free internship, whatever. Okay, but hold on, Jim. You started doing boxing actually. Now I know you're
Yeah.
not doing as much as you used to do, but how did you feel
No.
about boxing?
Yeah, I started last summer.
nice.
There's a place in South Loop called Knuckleheads Boxing Gym.
That's where I go when I train at a gym. Yeah.
Wait,
Were
really?
you training with like Ruben?
Yeah, I know Ruben. Yep.
Yeah.
What?
And
Yeah,
cool.
Ruben he tried to get me to join the amateur team back in August.
Shout out to
But I
Ruben.
couldn't. The time it would have taken, it conflicts with school too much.
Yeah, it's only at like 7 to 8 every day.
Yeah.
Ruben, you conflict with school, but shout out to you.
Ruben, if you're
Shout
listening.
out Ruben though. Ruben, my guy. Yeah.
I like Ruben.
Ruben's great.
I like his
He's
chihuahua.
got this.
like his
He's got this
chihuahua?
chihuahua that he just carries around
Always
while he's
Really?
coaching. Just always.
So
He's got like a little
Paris
baby
Hilton
pen
type thing,
for
huh?
it. Yeah.
You guys know the same
Yeah.
peeps. You guys are in the boxing world. Look at that. You guys know the same
Yeah.
boxing peeps.
Have you met?
Yeah.
Do you work with Marty at all?
No, I only went there twice, and then I stopped
Oh.
going because I got injured. I went with one of our other friends to the UFC gym because he knows people up there. I got one of my ribs either bruised or fractured. We never checked, but I was out of commission for like 4 months.
Wait, one of our mutual friends, y'all do?
Phil.
Oh, well, I was thinking other friend. My bad. Yeah,
No.
cool. Phil. Shout out to Phil too.
Yeah.
Shout out Phil.
I've been going there since last summer. And that's like a legit gym. Like Ruben is my second favorite coach, but Marty is the guy that owns it. And Marty's legit. Marty's been on ESPN for title fights.
Nice.
And he's just a really cool dude. Like he's super chill. It doesn't matter if you're coming in there as like a guy who just literally wants cardio for boxing, or if you're a guy who's like, I'm gonna spar every week and like get into this. He'll treat you the same, and I love that.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it's
Maybe
like
I
he
should check
doesn't
it out
have this
then.
like.
Yeah, for the couple times I went there, it is a dope environment. Like you can tell, because I mean, some gyms they're more. I don't know. The gym I was training at in Columbus, it's a place called Pilgers. It's in Grandview, and that
Oh,
gym
great.
is kind of similar actually.
I know Grandview.
Oh.
I just don't know any of the gyms over there, but yeah.
You know, it's kind of similar to how Knuckleheads operates here, like classes and stuff. Except the classes there or the sessions there are usually longer.
Yeah.
But I was like, when I talked to him, I was like, yeah, I probably won't compete until after I finish my undergrad and I actually have the time to like put in for the amateur stuff. Because I did kickboxing for 7 years when I was from the ages of 6 to 13, and then I stopped combat sports for a little while. I was doing swimming and water polo. The pandemic hit, and I didn't really have anything to do, so I just started training boxing again at home because we had a bag and stuff in the garage. And then I came to Chicago, and we had a bunch of people in the building who boxed. So I didn't even have to be at a boxing gym because there were people in the building who could coach and I could spar with. So it wasn't a necessity the first couple of years, and then those guys left for the most part. So like now I'm at a point where I'm like teaching and coaching people because when I was at Pilgers last year, whenever I'm working with younger kids, you kind of figure out how to teach and coach from doing that, avoiding trying to hurt them with also them learning. And that's what I've been doing with some people training people from my school lately. As like a branch of our sports club since we don't have official sports teams. So that's kind of what my involvement is with it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you come from the kickboxing.
Yes, it took me a while to like get used to the footwork of boxing versus kickboxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what would be the difference then? Kickboxing to boxing?
So I came
footwork.
from Muay Thai kickboxing, which is very, very upright. Like I put this like
your shoulders or your head placement.
Like you're
okay.
Rather than
Demonstrate. Oh, wait,
rather than being here, you're more here.
Oh, yeah.
Like you want to have like one leg kind of steep to like check kicks and stuff.
Bringing those
versus
elbows.
yeah, and you're here to be able to throw like this and like this. Like I honestly prefer boxing to. I wasn't that good at Muay Thai, but I was also usually sparring with a lot of kids who were like I was a very scrawny kid. And the kids were usually bigger than me, so it wasn't fun for me. I actually hated it for a while, but my parents just kept me in it.
Oh wow.
What was your height again? Sorry.
Me?
No, yeah, no. In terms of like, I think you're about my same height,
Yeah, I'm
right?
5'10".
5'10", 5'9". Yeah, okay. So, and then, oh, jeez. You know what? Never mind. I'm already 3 beers in. I
Over
lost my
over
train of
6 foot gang, raise
thought.
your hands up. Gem JP, me. What's up, guys? No, I'm just-
Uh,
sorry,
no,
sorry, sorry, little
okay,
people.
okay. So either way though, you guys found boxing. You guys started doing that. Now, Jim, I know you don't do as much as you do right now, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
have you guys ever actually like, I guess, you guys didn't do anything competitive though, like not just
We
Like
sparring.
used
Golden
to have
Gloves or
like
something like that?
No, our gym had like we would have fight nights. Like you would,
Really?
it would be like kind of like an intra squad thing.
But would it be to the point that you start pissing like your piss is black type of situation?
No.
No.
Because
no.
I
Piss
was
is
still young when
black.
I was.
When
You
does
got
that
you
still
don't know
young
you
when
don't
I
know
was.
you don't know that?
kidney shot.
Yeah, if you get your kidneys hurt real bad, if you like
Mm.
rupture a kidney, that's
Yeah.
when that starts to happen. No. It wasn't that serious because I was still young at that time. I'm sure like the older groups maybe they went that hard, but
You
that
think
was
you can
from
hit me
6
that
to
hard,
13.
Yadu?
Yeah.
That I can
No.
piss black? Are you strong enough to hit me? I'm a big guy, right? So like you think
Hey, V, you know how much you have over your kidneys right now?
Jesus. All right. Shout out to the meat I have over my kidneys right now.
Yeah.
Protecting my kidneys.
You can eat body shots pretty well, Gabe.
Yeah, okay. But piss
Really?
black, huh? Oh
Should
yeah,
we test these?
I have a strong core, actually. I think I do.
I
feel like-
do.
feel like
You used to train me, man. So
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, you were pretty good. Actually, I remember talking to Zaria, my wife, about this stuff and all that, and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
My
I'm gonna
wife.
start doing my wife, and I
My
want to start
wife?
like, and I want to start
Sorry.
doing like boxing and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, if I could like fight like Jim, would that be like if I fight him like would that be accomplished?" And she's like, "No, the final boss is Gabe." She's like straight up the
Yeah,
final
yeah.
boss is Gabe, right?
Oh, if you can fight. Yeah,
if I
you're like-
fight, like she would be impressed if I could like fight
Hold your own
you,
Ooh.
Gabe. Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
So she, yeah,
Shout out to her for that, for knowing the
Yeah.
levels of power.
but that's the okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, and
Me and
I'll
Yadu
be a
spar
little bit.
though. Yadu and I spar.
No, no,
we work
I'll
on
be a
technique.
little bit. I'll be a little bit more transparent about this stuff. Okay, so like you used to be my trainer and all that stuff. For the longest time, my wife thought that you were like she was always like, if your trainer doesn't look skinny or anything like that, then why are you training with that person, right? But it's only after a while that like she finally realized, especially after seeing Jim and stuff like that, because like Jim is like blah blah blah. But then Gabe comes in, fucking bodybuilder, and then you're like, yeah, okay, I see why you would see Gabe and be like, yeah, that's my trainer and all that stuff, right? Because you were fucking built when I was like working with you,
I
right?
know. I was lean green machine right there. Yeah, absolutely.
But you were fucking straight up built, right? Because I would have like trainers that were like fat as fuck, and it's like, okay, why am I training with you? Like you
I
ain't
was
even
suffering
doing
from
that shit,
body
right?
dysmorphia at that time, though. I didn't even know how. like,
Really?
I didn't even. I had no idea how in shape I was, and I look at old pictures and I'm like, holy shit, those are abs. Like I was in shape. Like,
You were.
Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what the fuck's wrong? I'm too fat, and then my body fat percentage was like 11. Like it was. Like,
I'll tell you this: that, like the when I trained with you, that was the only time that I almost passed out from training with you, man. Like,
Training
you
so
pushed-
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like it
Yeah.
was the only time I actually had like blacked
Ball
out
so
my
hard,
eyes,
yeah.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Did you meet my buddy Marcus at the party?
yes,
Uh,
he's a gym. He's
yes.
a coach. He's a trainer.
He trained me so hard I threw up. So
Jesus.
yes.
What
You
kind
still
of
work with
did
him,
you
though?
put him through?
No,
Like-
I did not. He's
Uh,
like one of my best friends. I was like, yeah, I'm done with you, buddy. I love you, but
Jorge and I
Like,
worked
was-
together for like several years, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jorge,
Oh
you're,
shit, yeah.
you're a dedicated client, Jorge. Shout out to dedicated clients. Good job, Jorge.
Dude, I lost 25
Hey,
pounds trying to
on
get
your
to
own
30 right
recently.
now.
Yeah, good
On my
job.
own. On my own because of my quarter life crisis. That's why I want to be a DJ. But anyway, that's a different story.
Quarter life crisis? No, I was kidding.
Oh, quarter life.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
I'm,
kidding.
I'm not gonna say midlife. I ain't fucking dying at 80, man. All right. I have so much pride and anger that I will probably stay alive for longer, right? Anyway, regardless.
But
So
if
all
you died at
all
80,
you
the
guys,
quarter life. Okay, I'll keep going.
by the way, yeah, anyway. But by the way, all of you guys are gonna be invited when I have like my whole guys drink my fucking place type thing day, all right? Yeah, you guys are all invited.
Was it-
All of you. Joe
Nice.
too. Tell Joe. Tell Joe
Go
too.
in the chat, like
And Rick Roll, and Tim, and Max,
Cranker.
and our viewer, Cranker. Who the fuck is Cranker?
I don't know,
who
but they're invited
Fatty.
too.
Anyway,
Cranker,
all right, so
drop your phone number in the comments. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
First and last.
all right, so we
Your
we
social.
actually so okay. Anyway, we actually have to be a little bit punctual on this stuff. So we
Okay.
are
Oh,
past
shit.
11 o'clock at this time.
Oh, that was
Um,
quick.
So I do want to say, Jim, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank you.
being
Oh,
our
yeah.
first official guest. I would say.
Yeah.
Just fuck yeah.
And
a lot of fun.
By the way, I got a guest lined up for next week already.
oh really?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
Perfect.
Jim is
We're
still
gonna be
here. Why are we crapping on Jim's shine here?
I am not crapping on Jim. He inspired me to get another guest.
Yes.
Okay.
He
Ah,
inspired
damn.
us.
Look at
Yeah.
me. That's
Cheers to
good.
Jim.
No,
Yeah.
As a leader,
not only
and
that,
visionary.
the way that you got into the game industry was like just like yeah, it was just like how I thought about what happened to me was just like, man, if only we didn't have that one guy that goes around, or like just all these people just telling you don't do
Yeah.
it. But we needed that one person that actually had like the power to be like, yeah, do it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh wait. Actually, hold on. I still have you for a second. Hold on. Before we go, I do want to say this, and I did write this down while you were talking. The college that you went to, what did you believe in terms of those really bad college commercials? And I'm talking about like I don't know if it was Full Sail or another commercial.
Everest.
That was just like it was just a bunch of dudes playing video games,
Oh, no.
and they're like, "Oh man, yeah." It's like tighten the tighten the
Yeah.
graphics in level 2. Yes, exactly.
That joke literally comes up every month at every studio I've been at. All the time.
All the
Anytime we're in a play, like anytime we're in a play test and we're like, all of us are looking at something together. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just tighten the graphics." And like, yeah,
Tighten the
that is
graphics. That's
every
hilarious.
single person who works in video games has that commercial memorized.
Was that
Wow.
Full Sail or was that another college? That's probably another video game college or
I
something
feel
like
like
that.
it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't
Yeah.
think it's for sale. I don't remember it.
So just so for the viewers and stuff like that, it's just like a commercial. It's like these two dudes playing video games and all that stuff, and then this woman comes in and is like, "Hey, we need to know like how it was." And then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, level 1 was great. Level 2, you need to tighten up the graphics or something
Level
like that."
3,
It
actually.
literally says
Level
that.
3.
Level 3, and
Or
then
something like that,
He hits
yeah.
his buddy. They both have like controllers, wired controllers. He taps his buddy, and he's like, "Can you believe we get paid to do this?" And then it cuts to like, here's the number to call.
Yeah, for the college.
It's a
and stuff
toll
like
free.
that.
Yeah,
it
it's,
is.
it's Westwood College Online.
Westwood,
Oh,
you got it.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
like it's-
Wait,
that was
they're the
fine.
ones that did that original Doom game back in the day, Westwood Studios? Or is that different?
Well,
that was
college.
that was id.
I
That was
don't know,
id Software.
The name is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but real
There's
quick,
Westwood Studios. Okay, yeah.
another thing I forgot to mention is that I went to E3. If you guys ever remember Electronic
Ooh,
Entertainment
my
Expo,
dad used to work those.
yeah, back in 2000, I went there in 2005. So right after college, 2004, I graduated high school. 2005, I think I went there and all that stuff. And to this day, which by the way, I don't think I've ever played this game. There was a developer for the Insomniac Studios that made Ratchet and Clank and all that stuff. I talked to the dude, and the dude actually had a demo disc that he gave to me, and he's like, "I'm not allowed to give this to people, but I liked you, so I'll give it to you," and all that stuff. He also went to Full Sail College when I asked him, where do we go and all that stuff, right? I still have that demo disc that I don't think I've ever put on my PS2 ever. And I'm
One of these times you just gotta load it up on stream.
Let's
I
load
got-
up on stream. So on
I
the
could
stream.
probably fucking. I still have my PS2.
Oh, it's
That
Elgato,
still
that
works.
shit. Yeah.
Like,
Still works. Yes,
what is
I
it,
do have an
demo for some
Elgato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elgato, that
project
shit.
or something? Like,
Fuck yeah, man. Or I'll do it when you guys are at my place for like the guys drink all that shit. I said
Reaction
gays.
video.
and actually remind me when we do that to tell you, I had recently like an awful experience with Insomniac Games interviewing for them. Oh,
What?
Oh, really?
yeah. I interviewed with
Awful.
them, and I think their process is complete trash.
Oh no. Are they like
Damn.
no?
They're very
The
frustrating.
HR
didn't
Insomniac
handle
is
graphics.
trash. Oh damn!
Really
HR
is.
Insomniac is trash. Damn.
You guys
Yeah,
hear
it
it
was-
for here first and topical
Oh, man.
drinks.
They-
Topical, you heard it here first. Onboarding trash. HR trash. Oh man.
All right. So we're past 11, so we really gotta be. Anyway, thank you so
Yep.
much, Jim, for being our guest and everything
thank
like
you, guys.
that.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's finish our drinks. Let's finish our drinks. You guys got
Yeah.
anything on your cups?
No, I finished
already
mine just
finished
already,
mine.
like-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cheers.
Okay, just me then.
All right. You know what?
All right,
And
yeah.
you know what? I am going to give it to Yadu. Yadu, go ahead and give us our sign off or something. Some last thing to say.
Oh, it's just-
You guys ever see that meme about like
God
some
damn it.
HR lady who majored in communications tossing your resume in the trash?
No.
No.
Yeah, no, it was like you getting a CS major just for some lady who majored in communications to fucking Kobe your resume into the trash.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Communications.
That's what I'm thinking about right now.
All right. All right. JP, give us a better sign off.
All right.
Yo, what if I'm
WKRP signing
unemployed
off here.
forever?
What was that, JP? I didn't hear that.
Guys, it's real bad out there.
WKRP. Great show tonight, guys.
Great show. Yeah.
Signing off.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. And yeah, we will see you guys next week, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central. Come a little early. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Happy Black History Month.